her struggles, her fights, and her multiple business career, doing some wonderful things out there in the community, blessing people, being a blessing. And just from what short time I have sat here and talked to her, I believe she's one of those women that falls in the category of phenomenal, a phenomenal woman. So I'm gonna hand it over to my girl, the lovely hostess, the sexy hostess, Nasha Beasy, aka Shades.
Hey, Nash. Good morning, how are you? Thank you for being with us. Oh, let me talk up for you people. It's one of those mornings for me. I ain't feeling it. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and thank you, V, for being with us. I appreciate it very, very much. How are you doing?
Hey, hey, hey. I'm good. How are you
I
doing?
look, am I not talking loud enough? She's looking
You know
like,
what? Right? Because I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, here it is. She's about to give, her speech, and stuff. But yeah, I'm partially deaf, boo.
yes,
You want to put these on?
I
You can hear
apologize.
better if you do.
Okay. Listen, it's been a while.
So how are you doing this morning? Thank you for being with
You
us.
need me to turn it up? I
You
can.
can't complain. How you doing?
You need me to turn it up?
No, I'm good.
You good? You can hear as well?
I can hear.
All right, cool.
As long as you can hear us, that's all that matters.
Okay.
So thank you for being with us this morning.
You're welcome, sweetheart.
And thank you, for taking off and to coming down here and introducing the world, who you are and what you do. And I got to meet this beautiful lady about 2 years ago, and say my first fashion show.
Right.
And that day was a long day for me. I just got off of work. I was pooped, and she came over there like, what the, girl, you need to whip and snap it. I
And
was
get
like,
naked. Try to
drop
close.
it, drop
Get
it.
naked.
So I call her V. We have the beautiful V of Glamour Style, the CEO of Now, Then, and Later, Black History Month, and also a lupus fighter. So that's exactly why, another reason why I wanted to bring her on the show, because I do know someone out there that has lupus, and I wanted you to share your story with the world, and let them know all about the wonderful V.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I did come bringing gifts, of course. So I did bring you your Then, Now, and Later T-shirts. I wanted to give you this, and then I gave you one of my pamphlets that I generally give um, to the participants that participate in our event. So what am I gonna do? Walk over there and bring it to you?
We got you.
Shout. Here you go. So I wanted you to have your celebrate that Black History T-shirt. The logo is so important. It was created by Daniel Russell and myself, which was a prior dean of the school, Aspire Elementary, Juanita Tate. Him and I worked on that logo night and day, and we came up with Celebrate Black History, Then, Now, and Later. And we just had our last, not our last event, but our third event on February 22nd, 2019. So that's what you just received, where we had so many sponsors, including Charles Clemens came out, the C2 Entertainment, and he gave out T-shirts. We also had Groovy Silk, and he actually printed T-shirts for these babies on campus while the event was going. So that was extremely awesome. We also had DJ Amber J. DJ Amber J is now currently working with Keisha Caddy and Charles Clemens as well. So I just love bringing my partners on board and knowing how extensively they can work with other people in the industry. We also had my children, the bad babies running around trying to be directors and whatnot.
They get it from their mama.
Yes, they get it from their mama. So, just being the founder and the director of this event where I'm not being paid, but I'm actually bringing on sponsors and bringing on industry and community professionals to this campus and showcasing how important it is to implement a program that is perhaps like Dare. When
Right.
you think of Celebrate Black History, then now and later, I want you to think of it like the Dare program.
Right.
Branding is always important. I tell people all the time when it comes to Deanna Rogers, one thing about me is I've always been an image director and a community leader. So I had to create a platform opportunity for my artists that nobody else could.
Right. You're also an awesome ear too. You forgot that part. Cause she will convince her. I've been called her a couple of times. Don't forget that part.
Right. But during the City of Los Angeles certificates, that was another thing that was a part of making sure that I was still consistently an image director for my artists. Because if I'm telling you I'm going to build your portfolio, then you got to look at your portfolio and say, what does Deanna Rogers put in my portfolio? So getting this school platform and getting the City of Los Angeles certificates and having over 70 trees on my block is important to me and my legacy for my children to understand that this lupus does not have me, but I have it.
Right.
Definitely.
So what got you into glamour style?
Glamour style. One thing about being a hairstylist is we know how to twist them curls.
Right.
We click, 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 click. We in Louis bags and we eating $15 lunches and dinner. Well, I was working at Second to None, which was a baby boy. Baby boys had been filmed at that salon with Tyrese.
Right.
Tyrese's class of '96, I'm class of '98 from Lock Eye. So we were educated based on him doing that Coca-Cola commercial. When he did the Coca-Cola commercial, we had a lot of sponsors come out to our school. So it was no coincidence that his movie ended up being filmed at Second to None, which was ran by my boss lady, Shashinda Marbury, which is the top saleswoman for Candy Consultant, Miss Candy of Escape. Shashinda Marbury ran a salon called Second to None. And at this salon, I was able to be myself. I was very clean. I was, but I was dropping the curls. I was throwing up in between. I was falling out. I would leave the salon for probably about a month and come back and be kind of out of it. I was sleepy for the most part. Based on dropping those curlers and after going into a coma and having some babies and going through domestic violence, I said, well, hell, I got a hell of a mouthpiece from taking theater art.
Right.
I couldn't just back down from doing hair no more. Now, my hustle was different. I wasn't doing those 15 heads a day that I was used to doing at Second to None or at 50 North with Shalina Allen and Trey Major and Blue Cottrell is coming in and Brandy and everything like that. I couldn't do hair like that no more.
Right.
So I had figured out a way to use my mouth through other hairstylists and other makeup artists and bring them together and go ahead and take care of this unorganized productions that were going on in the industry.
Right.
We all know too well that in the industry it's drugs, sex, and cash. Well, with me being a queen and possessing the education of theater and cosmetology, I combined those two and I became an image director literally overnight. I had to create my name. So any of y'all who hear an image director, I'm the first image director. But I created that based on I wanted to have some type of connection with the models, the artists, and the stylists. And in combining all of that, I had to oversee it from top to bottom. Whether I could touch your hair or not, I had to make sure that your hair was done, your eyebrows, your eyelashes, so I come in there with bags and bodies. And that's where glamour and glamour style came from. It came from Stephon Smith and Dana Frazier and my sister and my mother getting walkie-talkies, getting these suitcases, and us going out to these video productions with Charles Clemens and Yogi Punch and Danny C. And me saying, you know what, y'all, listen, I'm a come and I'm a talk. I'm going to be there. But I'm not going to be able to actually do the hair because I can't stand for long periods of time and I can't sit for long periods of time. So glamour and glamour style came from, my vision, of course, with the V. But it's an image production team. It's an image production team that goes around and we just like literally, we do videos and we do productions. We get Mercedes of Ontario with Shonda Wright and Kim Price. We've done a lot of events, a lot of videos. You can Google us at Glamour or Glamour Style, Celebrate Black History, or Then Now and Later. But that's where Glamour came from. It came from because I wanted to still style. But I could not style without having several bodies next to me to assist my vision. It was too big. My vision has always been too broad. And here it is now. We got Miko Williams, Tiffany Denise. We have Tasha Taylor, Baby Blue. We have Sophisticated Hair Magazine. We've done, I can't even keep up with myself. Half of the time. I have a book publishing. Every time I stroll on Facebook or Instagram, somebody is tagging Glamour or Glamour Style. So it's amazing.
That's what's up. That's nice. It's a lot of success. So, with all of, you want to add something? Go ahead.
Well, no, I just want to say that one of
Maisha Lynn?
Cumberbatch,
Okay.
she said, congratulations on your great accomplishments, and which leads me to my next
And I got a
question.
t-shirt for you, Mr. Dr. P.
Oh, wait a minute, hold up now.
That's my Celebrate Black History.
And see, you got my favorite colors up in here, green.
You know what? I was looking.
See?
I told you, I
You know?
was looking.
Oh, I have to show it on this one?
That's our new logo for this is our third year, but
Okay. All right.
generally we would just do it, I think we was just, red, black, and green. But this
Love
year,
this.
Mr. Groovy Silk, he said, let's kind of change it up and put some
I
splash.
have
on
some
it.
shoes that match this. See, I like to be color coordinated for the most part.
Okay.
And so this will get banged and it will get worn
There
on the
you
air.
are.
And we go live. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now.
And this is for you too.
Uh-oh. So I like to show you.
And it has
people
my
this.
phone number there, so I hope
Yeah,
to
because
see
I'm
y'all
gonna have to
next
do some
year.
business. I want these people to see this stuff. Not to cover your face.
Those are
But-
all the sponsors that came out last year,
Okay.
including myself. But,
Well, I'm gonna have
this
to get
year.
me a glamour image going here. 'Cause,
Okay.
Beakon Radio needs to be out there because we were created by the people for the people.
Definitely check out my
So-
boy Groovy Silk because he's like really trying to headline this branding material. With
Well, you
me.
know what?
He did me bags, t-shirts, all kind of
Next
stuff.
week, next month, April, we're going to do a show dealing with entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
I want to do the whole week, so I would love to get him on the show
Okay.
and let him talk about what he does.
Yeah.
And my thing, I think, is we make the connection and we get out the way.
Right.
But see, so many people want to make that connection. They want to play middleman. I need something out the
Oh,
deal. We don't need nothing out the deal. We're going to get blessed no matter what we do. You know, and so when your hand is closed, you can't get nothing. But as you said, you don't consider yourself an entrepreneur,
No.
but being a businesswoman. So let me
Yeah,
respect what you consider yourself. Let's talk about some of the challenges as being a businesswoman in the industry that you're in. You know, I know over the years it's changed now. I think more women is running some
More
stuff.
women are actually, one of my names is Queen.
Mhm.
I remember probably about, I think it was like 8 years ago, being called a bitch was the popping thing. I'm the baddest bitch.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was kind of scared and skeptical of those that were calling themselves just that. Because at that point, I knew that it was going to make my job even harder as a businesswoman. Being that my father was already a community leader at 8 years old, and me going to Lock High was a big thing. My aunt is Waylon Pitts of Loose Ends.
Okay.
So it was very important to me that in my career, I represented my parents. I represented my aunt. I had to come in this game as a princess of them. So I didn't have that image where I was just going to come out here and be like, I'm the baddest, because I knew that my father was looking, my mother was looking, and those were the people that was paying me while I was sick.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like, there's not a day that I don't get gifts based on my lupus. So for me to get these gifts, or for me to receive these blessings that I'm getting, I have to literally play myself down to a queen, and that's it. I can't even, every now and then I'll get that gangster, because I will snap, crack, and pop. But for the most part in my career, I've had to be extremely boisterous. I've had to maintain my glow and covering my big ass booty. But I've had to give a little of the publicity sun, a little of the cleavage, a little of the long weave, and a whole
But
lot
nothing
of
that
smile.
was not classy.
Nothing that was not classy.
That's right.
Even when it came to marijuana smoking, I remember, like Nasha was saying, how kind of bossy I am. There had to come a point where I had to accept. I have these hairstylists and these makeup artists that are coming for free to do your hair and your makeup. We come for 4 models and we end up doing 13 models.
Right.
Y'all gonna sit your little down with this makeup before it wrinkles
Absolutely.
up and sit your butt down.
So we can get our job
You know what I'm
done.
saying? I had to literally like, and it was hard because when I came into the industry, there was no image directors. There was a director, there was a producer, there was, you know, the cameraman, there was the models, but there was no image director that was just there on the forefront to say, from top to bottom, these curtains ain't right, them toes ain't right, and bend over, let me get them stretch marks. There was not that. So in this industry, I literally had to crawl into the game and honestly hold and captivate who I was as a person, but I also had to release information that I never wanted to. And that was, I have Stew's disease. I have lupus disease. I have a chronic ear infection. I had to literally use my platform for what it was and release this information. Radio after interview, you know, taking advantage of those platforms, because it kind of, if you don't say, I'm sick, I'm bald headed, or I'm this, that, people look at you like you're fake, you're a fraud, you're this, because why didn't you tell us that you're, you know, that you're sick? So now in the industry, I'm able to just say, you know, whether I'm going to be there or not, people are generally happy to see me because they just don't know if I'm going to show up. You really just don't know.
Okay.
Yes. That's why I'm thankful you came, because I'm already knowing those days that you have, and glad, you know, you always up and able and continue to move and strive. So
Yeah, but it's tough, Nasha. You know, when you gotta really think about rest or play. And it is my bestie. She's so awesome. She, you know, my bestie Kira. She's like, listen, we going out tonight. Please take a nap. Don't let them kids run you crazy today. Mind you, if I don't take a nap, baby, Vienna gonna be somewhere sitting sleep at the club. I be so sleepy, and I don't be doing nothing sometimes.
sometimes, right? Sometimes.
But I can sleep for, like, you know, that's what this lupus disease does. It requires a lot of rest and a lot of green. That's what I call it.
So let's talk about that, because as I mentioned earlier, I have 2 sisters that has lupus. One is, both of them are dealing with a lot of different challenges, you know, different challenges that lupus brings on.
Yeah.
You know, in a physical sense, mental as well as emotional. Being a person who's never had lupus, and they don't go to the lupus marches or walks.
Me either.
I do.
Right.
You know, and I don't go say, hey, you know, my sister has it, I'm here. But I go representing them, because in a physical sense, I don't know how to represent them. You see what I'm saying? So one of my sisters, the younger one, actually she's the youngest girl, she tends to end up in the hospital, very, very sick, sometimes coma sick, you know. And me, I hate hospitals, just with a passion. I hate
And
being
most
in
people do.
you know.
And let me
And
say
so
that.
I never go, but people call me and feed me the information. And so I know that God is my best answer. So I have to just pray. And I'm trying not to get teary-eyed right now, but
Yeah, lupus is more severe than. I took a picture the other day, and because I'm trying to hold back the tears for you.
thank you.
I took a picture the other day, and I kind of covered my face because I didn't know what the reaction was going to be to. Now I'm about to cry. to my bald head. I had to think my twin brother is going to see this. My father is going to see this. Even my partner is going to see this. Because, you know, when me and my honey would get into bed, I've been sleeping with a beanie on for the last 3-4 months. I had individuals. So when I took the individuals out, I noticed that I had like a lot of weak spots. And so I had been wearing a beanie and, you know, to bed and wearing my good wigs and, you know, whatnot. So I was kind of isolating myself and dealing with this every time I went to the restroom. Every time I went to sleep, I, you know, paranoid that my beanie is coming off. So I said, you know what, let me free myself. Let me go ahead and free myself. I have a radio interview coming next week. Let me go get this oil change and go and get my hair cut too. And when I got my hair cut, I wore my hair bald all that day. And I took this picture, and the reactions were awesome. But I'm no fool. A lot of those reactions were, this shit is real. Now, these people got to see, Brianna's not just claiming that she has lupus, she really has it. And mind you, I know how to take good pictures. Those pictures did not reveal the skin spots that I have in my head. What I want you to know as a family member, dealing with someone who has lupus, the best thing that I would want my friends and family to do is spend a day with me once a week. Why? Because every morning that I wake up, I'm like, what the hell, I made it. And I'm talking about after a coma, and after busting my face wide open, and after boo-hooing on myself and peeing on myself, and looking at my dishes and going, why is it so high? Or why isn't my refrigerator clean? Or why isn't my laundry done? And it's because family and friends don't like the hospital. Family and friends don't want to see you sick. Family and friends don't want to see you cry. So by the time everybody come through, my house is clean. My refrigerator is clean. Everything is done. But they don't understand, like, those times when mind you, if I'm sleeping for 12 to 18 hours a day, that means I need somebody to feed me while I'm resting. That means I need somebody to clean up while I'm resting. By the grace of God, I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh my God, you haven't been to the doctor in 1.5 years. Where have you been? At the emergency room every 3 to 6 months. I go get my morphine and go get my my steroids, my prednisone, and a needle every 3 to 6 months when I have my massive flare. He said, you know what, Miss Rogers, I don't have a choice. I'm going to have to send a nurse to you. So as of last Monday, they just started sending a nurse to me every Monday. And it has nothing to do with my appearance. I was so grateful. I cried when that nurse walked in my house. Because people don't really get to see when I'm not able to take a bath for long periods of time. I can't wash my hair because I have a hole in my eardrum. So I'm constantly concerned that, am I going to get a cold? How long is this cold going to last? Is my vagina going to be swollen today? Is my armpits going to be swollen today? Am I going to use my cane today? Or is it going to be the walker today? You know, I just never really know. I drive a big ass truck with a whole bunch of shit in it just in case I need to sit down somewhere and be comfortable. I got to keep peanuts with me. I have to keep water with me because I can't trust nobody when it comes to my disease. Not my father, not my sisters, my aunties, friends, nobody. I can't, because I've already seen myself go through this coma, bust my face wide open, and everybody kind of just sit back and take vacations and all type of shit. And I'm sitting up like, damn, I ain't even been to Vegas as a grown-up. Kind of shit is that? So what I'm expressing to you is for me, dealing with this disease, The hardest part is for me has been my appearance and my mouth, because I'm an educated woman at that. So when I get to talking, people be like, she's smart. What's wrong with her? What she mean she need help? What she mean she need a bill paid? And she got all these diamonds and jewelry and this. And I'm like, I'm the princess. I'm supposed to have a whole lot of jewelry and, shit like that. Right. But, just help your family members. I mean, even if it's just going on Cash App and sending them $20 or $50, because sometimes we're so isolated because you can't make no money. You can't hit no corners.
Right.
That it's just what it is.
Absolutely.
And it's hard. It's like, damn, why am I a community leader then? Why am I a sponsor then? Why am I a business owner then? Why am I even a a mother then if I have to deal with this disease every day? So in the industry, I just keep it 100 at this point now. I'll be like, I'm about to go sit down somewhere. They'll be like, okay, you want some water? It's more respect given to me in the industry than ever before since I revealed that I had a disease. People didn't feel like, oh, she just missing in action. She just not gonna show up,
Well, I would say this, that, just hearing you, I can understand why. Because you're inspiration. There are some people that has this disease or has lupus, and it says, okay, I'm gonna get this SSI, I ain't doing nothing else.
Yeah.
But see, you're doing it. You're moving around in spite of, with everything that's going on, in spite of. And I know we can all say, but God, but there, you have to be willing.
Yeah.
And you're doing.
But I'm blessed. I think for me, before the children, it was education.
Okay.
I tell my kids all the time, like, if you want to be a flunky, that's on you. But the way that the market rate is going, if you don't have no education, you ain't gonna be nothing in this game. Cause I could talk a good one, which is gonna make people think twice about what they trying to do to me, whether it's firing or hiring or telling me you can't have this platform. Like even with the elementary school, I'm like, look, hold up. I've already been a liaison. I am a community leader. You can't treat me just like a parent creating this event, because my education is going to bring sponsors. I got the 49ers here, so what are y'all talking about? Derek Deese is here, or, I have these different artists coming out to perform, and it's based on my education.
Right.
I just thank God that I took my butt to cosmetology school. I'm glad that Tyrese did that Coca-Cola commercial, because if he wouldn't have, we wouldn't have had Mount St. Mary's College come to Locke High School. We wouldn't have had Transportation Careers Academy, which was funded by MTA. So even when I sat at a board meeting with MTA, when we were working on the Slauson project, which is the train tracks that's going to be going to the lake, I was able to say, I'm one of your students. But I've worked with all of these different programs from Locke High School all the way to WLCAC Center, all the way to performing at Borders Bookstore. So even when I tell my artists all the time, I've been in this game. I was playing a violin at 8 years old at 186th Street School Elementary. But it was all the whole time, it was because I was having so many surgeries on my ears that when I would come out, I'd just be a butterfly, because I was just reading and learning. The whole time I be in the bed, I just be reading on Harriet Tubman, like, okay, Harriet, what we gonna do today?
Right.
But it was based on education. That's what took me to this. Being able to just be an educated woman is something so powerful that even in the salon setting, you can't fire me. Can't nobody touch me when it comes to firing me.
Right. I'm
too smart. Way too smart. And if not, I'm just call my daddy anyway. He gonna handle it. Daddy. I just call my daddy.
So you're a daddy's girl.
I'm a daddy's girl. I'm a mama's girl. I'm a granddaughter's girl. I'm a niece's girl. I'm the first girl from my mom and my dad's side. Yeah.
So now,
first set of twins.
Still wipe the tears away. So now, for those people who may have lupus, who may be listening, or family members may be listening, you gave something really critical because, like I said,
Hey, Keisha Kathy. Y'all know Keisha Kathy?
I know her. I hit her up the other day. She didn't even respond to me. That's kind of messed
You know
up.
Keisha Kathy a Loxay too.
Mhm.
She come from the theater arts.
And she needs to respond to Phil Diablo's message.
Keisha, he said you need to respond.
You know,
Yeah.
but it is critical that people know lupus is like. See, we hear about cancer, we hear about AIDS, and
Yeah.
and lupus is starting to get out there, but they talk more about breast cancer. Just me being a guy
And
walking
it's
around.
so hurtful. I be like, oh my God, what about me?
Exactly.
I do.
And so,
I do.
and like I said, you don't really hear enough about it. And because I have two sisters that have it,
One of the
and-
top
and-
5
and-
killing diseases.
exactly. I
Yep.
just either I read or heard it somewhere that it's in the top 5. And I'm
It's the
sitting
top
there saying,
5.
wow, you know. And we don't talk about that. Unfortunately, in a community of color, we don't talk about a lot of stuff until somebody's dead, and then we're like, we want to
You know
pour
they
out a
gonna
drink.
be dressed for my funeral.
Oh,
All
yeah.
them have, but
Oh,
Lord,
yeah.
they gonna be so dressed for my funeral. Child, they gonna buy them some outfits for my funeral. Ooh, everybody gonna have on purple. She said, Keisha said, who did she? Dr. Phil.
I'll send it to her in her inbox. Tell her it's in her inbox.
Keisha.
Keisha, look for Phil Diablo Morris. It's in your inbox. I sent it yesterday. I know you got a huge fan base.
Yes.
So
Keisha.
I am probably amongst the thousands. In fact, I met you on Market Street doing the Inglewood Taste of Soul.
Yeah,
And I told you I was starting my radio show. So now you know who I am. Talk to me and I'm gonna talk back.
Okay, Keisha. Yeah, that's my baby. It's a lot of us from Block. We got Sir Parker, Keisha Caddy, Tyrese Gibson, my aunt Waylon Pitts of Loose Ends.
Mm-hmm.
Lock High ain't no joke.
Well, no, but and here's the thing. And see, for me, a platform. People do not see. I work with kids. I've been working with kids for years. Our young people do not see the success right here in the community. They see what's on TV.
And that's why I wanted to celebrate Black History. I what I tell people when I'm talking to them on the phone, I'm like, listen, come to this event. Let these kids see you. It's only 13% African American.
Mm-hmm.
Where did that happen at?
It's 13% African American, but it's 38% African American in prison. The numbers don't match.
You feel me?
The numbers don't match.
Where are we? I go to the beach and I low-key be scared. Like, am I the only Black woman here?
I see 15 cars on the freeway before you see a black person.
I'm telling people who are not, people who stay within their community, it's important that you understand right now that African Americans are gone.
Yeah.
We are dinosaurs. We are gone. So it's very important to show these children.
Yeah.
And I'm an image director, so it's always about branding. If you let them see you while they're babies, they will grow up and remember, oh, that's Amber J. Oh, that's Diesel. Oh, that's Yogi Punch, because I seen him when I was little.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or, oh, that's Kid Cannon. These babies need to see great Black people in their community.
Absolutely.
I brag about it all the time. I be like, listen, I tell the police, don't come on my block with that bull crap, because all these trees on the block is mine.
Right.
And they go, why? Like, all these new trees on the block is yours? And, yeah, all of them. So trust and understand that everything that I do is very well calculated.
Absolutely.
To make sure that even if in a terrorist threat, bet you I can go knock on somebody's door on the block and me and my kids gonna be safe because I got a tree in their front yard.
That's right.
So they're gonna let me in. It's a level of entry. So working on this event, it's a level of entry.
Well, see, and chime in anytime. I see you over there chilling.
Not your bean.
And that's the thing. My thing is being one of those kids who grew up in the community, gangs, juvenile hall, juvenile camp, California Youth Authority State Prison. But I also have a degree.
Right.
You see, I went to college.
Yeah.
No, I didn't go to the block and like, look, I just graduated because they didn't care about that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, they
but
don't.
For my community, I am just what this is, Beakon Radio.
Right.
I am that light. because I want you to know that somebody's right next to you has made it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not like Tiger Woods.
Or taken.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm right here and I'm giving back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, twice a year I do a big picnic for my community. So I don't care if you're a crackhead, I don't care if you're a neighborhood bum, I don't care if you're the homie, I don't care if you're somebody's granny.
Right.
Come on out, let's have a good time.
Right.
Because we don't do that. And so for me, what I love is when my folks say, man, you know, every time you give some, we don't never have an issue. There's no
Right.
violence here. Because
Right.
I promote love and I bring peace with me. I don't come and create it. I bring
That's
it with me.
you know what I'm noticing? If there's no directive, there's no direction.
Absolutely.
Even when I was giving I'm the president of Lady Mac Productions. So when I was
Okay.
17 years old, I was giving parties with Six Pack. DJ Six Pack is my brother. I can't believe my brother, but I love him. He has a club in Long Beach right now, and he's doing the trap and paint and stuff.
Okay.
But Six Pack had already taught me that if I wanted to give a party, I had to run it from top to bottom. So I was a baby little director when it came to Lady Mac Productions, but I noticed all the positive energy that I gave, the same here, no violence.
Right.
You know, my partner in crime, Mr. S. Mac, he was giving parties and he had all kind of stuff going on.
Yeah.
But Lady Mac Productions, we never had no violence, and I think it was because of the direction, how we, you know,
Yeah.
we gave them hospitality. We made sure that the mothers and the fathers were involved. So we had
Absolutely.
sodas, we had juice for them. If anybody was hot, you know, I was trying to, you know, make sure that they had a fan or anything, because and at 17 years old, I knew to give that direction of positive.
And you know what the
y'all
key-
came to dance, that's what y'all gonna do.
Right. But you know what the key to it is, what I've learned, people such as yourself, it's the humbleness
Mm-hmm.
that creates the respect. You know, like, hey, you know, she's giving this. Let's not go and mess this up, man. It's good people.
Right.
And
And she gonna crip walk too.
Uh-oh. Did she say crip walk?
Yeah, she gonna crip walk.
I'm just a two-step man,
I
so
She
was
gonna-
tripping and stuff.
She gonna crip walk and she gonna two-step. That's what Deanna Rogers is gonna do, and do some hydraulics for her too.
hey. And but you know, and see, just talking about the community, we take what we have, we give it away, because everybody's doing what the black folks do. We lead the market in trend setting. Everybody wants to be an NIGGA.
I don't.
Nobody likes it.
I don't want to be no NIGGA.
Well, you know,
I can't
when you
stand-
start crip walking, that
No, I'm crip walking for the hood. What are you talking about? I am crip walking for the
y'all
hood.
heard it here first, right on Beacon
That
Radio.
ain't no nigga stuff. That is a community dance.
Really?
You know what?
That is a community dance.
What
The
is his name?
crip walk.
Crip Walk Johnson. Until I saw that video,
Uh-huh.
I am born and raised with the blue team.
Okay.
And
No blue.
you
No
know,
Dodgers.
that's right. So for years,
No Dodgers.
I never knew the history on it, and
Yeah.
somebody sent it to me about a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it's amazing how they can just take something, boom.
Right, because like I'm saying, it was just a group of community leaders taking control of their community. I don't give a damn where you from. You are supposed to represent where you
Absolutely,
from.
absolutely.
That way, cause and effect, everybody gonna run up.
Right.
But
right.
if you talking that, but you're not bringing your, even with branding, it's the same thing. If you're not repping your squads ain't gonna run up.
Nope.
You rep your squads and see what happens. Because
Absolutely.
when you Google Glamour and your Google Glamour style, you don't see me. You see my whole squad, which lets you know it's because I play for the team, so the team gonna play for me.
Absolutely.
And I rep everything. If I'm from it, I'm from it. From
Right.
the Southeast Division to District 9 to Mafia to Lock High. That's where I'm from.
Right. Right.
And it's
right.
nothing gonna change that I'm from Southwest College or El Camino College because I put my mark on it.
Absolutely.
I've never, even at Southwest College, I put my mark on it. I worked with the director. I made sure that I was a stage manager.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I
Exactly.
can claim all of that.
Mhm.
So even the crip walking, yeah, I claim it because I'm a Lady Mac president. Why would I not claim the mafia crip walk? That's just
Right.
crazy.
But you know, here's the problem. because
I mean,
of,
crip walking.
but because of what I do, you know, like when I tell people, oh, I'm the mayor, I'm the chief of police, they be like, how do you do that? Because of my past.
Right,
It ain't because I have a degree.
right.
You know, a dude with a degree.
You're
strictly
supposed
degree,
to know the lead
he
officers
can't
in
come
your
back.
community.
Exactly. He
Right.
can't come to the hood and do what I do.
Right,
Because you're going to look at him crazy.
right,
But I said it's my past that they respect. And
Right.
then it's the present where I am.
right,
How I took a negative and turned it into a positive.
Right.
And so when we talk to people, all they see is the negative.
Mhm.
Player hoes, drug dealers, gang members, thoughts, and everything else. They don't really see the next doctor, the
Mm-mm.
next lawyer,
Mm-mm.
you know, the next CEO of
Mm-mm.
Glamour or any other type of organization. Because we so busy trying to survive that we don't teach our kids to live.
Mm-mm.
We got generation after generation that's growing up trying to survive when everybody else is living. And we are, I mean, I read it was 2.3 billion a year is what black folks spend on hair, clothes, shoes, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
We lead the market.
Mhm.
But it takes about, I think it said 3 months for a black dollar to recycle through the same neighborhood.
Mhm. But you know, that was one of the things that was so easy for me to be glamour style and not just the stylist.
Mhm.
When I was just the stylist, my girlfriends just wanted some color. Or they just wanted some curls. Or they just wanted their ends trimmed. And they just didn't want to give me no money, but they come in there with some Roscoe's.
Right.
And they
$700
just
Dooney
didn't want to
Burke
give me
purse.
no tip.
Right.
But they're going to pay somebody that they don't even know
Absolutely.
before they pay me. And I might be sitting on 5,000 or 10,000. I got some money coming or woo, and I'm just sitting there going, so then even when I get my dollars not recycling because of all the things that they already did to me prior to me having the money. So I'm going to
Right.
spend my money on you before I go spend it on my cousin.
Yep.
And that's glamour style proves that.
Right.
My hair and my jewelry go on my models
Mhm.
instead of going to my family members or whatnot. And it's because of the effect of how they treated me throughout my disease, prior to my disease. Like, mind you, I'm going to cosmetology school on the bus. All my girls was already having kids. So you know they had cars. I didn't have no car.
Right.
So I done went to school, did all of these hours with Charlene Weaver, my teacher, and dealing with all this trauma because I'm just as crazy then as I am now. You know, I was very glamorous, you know, very just, you know, jewelry, my hair, you know, what are you talking about? And very Oreo-ish and stuff. So it hurt to see every time I created a business, even with the king and the queen. I remember creating that for a prom. I had did my niece's prom, which was a king and queen concept. People were like, oh my God, this is traumatic. Why would you need to do all of this? I looked up, Wish got backdrops now. Everybody got backdrops
Everybody.
now.
Right.
And it came from Vienna Glamour Style Rogers.
Right.
There wasn't no such thing as a backdrop. People thought I was crazy. I come in there with curtain rods and shit. They're like, what the hell is she doing? Now I go everywhere. And I promise you, you're going to see a backdrop. But it all came from this little woman with a disease. But because I would get so sick, instead of my friends and family spending that money on me styling and, you know, me getting that budget from them, they took the image and it just went viral.
Right, absolutely.
Even Nike got my lime green. I couldn't find lime green nowhere in 2005. And it's for sure I couldn't find no lime green. All of a sudden, Nike got it, and then Target got it, and then Big Lots got it. And I can honestly sit here and say it because I have proof that shows everything that I'm saying.
That's right.
Down to the lime green.
That's right.
And it was, you know, but people like, when that happens, like even my boy AV. I got AV, a City of Los Angeles certificate, Mr. Run Me My Money.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I had got him that certificate is because probably about 3 years ago, yeah, because I promoted him my first year for Celebrate Black History. My first year, I go on there and I'm like, AV Cash Doll got a song called Run Me My Money. Oh, that's cute. I'm thinking it's cute because Cash Doll wasn't Cash Doll.
Right.
She wasn't, as appealing as she is today.
Mm-hmm.
But that's AV's song.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how bad that hurts? There's not a day that you can go on AV's page and he's not talking about Cash Doll in some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts when people in your own community takes from your artistry and paying other people with it.
Yeah.
But y'all thought Deanna was dramatic by implementing gold and black and king and queen, this, as champagne parties and proms and backdrops. But now everybody doing it.
But you know what? Here's what I've noticed especially in the music area, it's the people that we call traumatic or we call weird.
Michael Jackson, Bill Cosby,
Dennis Rodman, riding harder with a dress song.
Justin,
Exactly.
R. Kelly, the nasty bud.
But see, it's that uniqueness that stands out.
Yep.
Those are trendsetters that bring in dollars. But
they don't get all the dollars.
They don't get it all, depending on how they go.
cents.
But now, because I once worked with a particular, I want to call them an organization without saying their names, and they were going to Walt Disney. I used to own a beauty salon. I'm a licensed cosmetologist.
And let me say, y'all, I love me some Cash Doll. Cash Doll actually is performing this Saturday at Keisha Callie's birthday party. But go ahead.
She's been partying all week. I've been seeing it on Facebook.
Keisha ain't no joke.
I've been seeing it. But and they went to Walt Disney, and I said, man, listen, let me explain something to you. You are a tadpole in the ocean with great whites when you go in there.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hold back all your talents and ideas, because they will steal it.
Mm-hmm.
They decided we're going to break business off with you, and we're going to go over here to Walt Disney. So if you go back about 15 years ago when Walt Disney having all the kids dancing, doing their little Coca-Cola, Pepsi commercials and all that, and they kicked the group out. I said, see what I tell you? I said, but see, y'all figure I'm just some old black hood dude, dope dealer. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But they took all your dance moves.
Yeah.
They hired some little kids that's already with,
And thank
sack.
God for YouTube.
Exactly.
But don't want to give Soulja Boy his love. Just disrespectful.
But see, it's the problem with us, and you know this. We'll come up with a great idea. We don't patent it. We don't copyright it. We don't do nothing. But we promote it.
Right. We do promote.
We
be promoting.
We promote,
We
and
do.
then like someone on Facebook does table talk. Then someone says, Jada Pickett does table talk. I said, I bet you that person on Facebook started it first, and they heard it.
The
And they
red
took it
table.
because they have it, and now they boom.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take something, and we won't even do a poor man's copyright,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll promote the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so that's where we go wrong. And then if you come in and say, hey, look, you need to do this, and I'll walk you through it. First thing they'll go back and say is, she wants something out this deal.
But you know what? I think for me, because my title is image director,
Mhm.
it works for
Mhm.
me now.
Mhm.
Because that states that I'm always in control of my artist's image in some type of direction.
Right.
So then that way, when I'm around, I don't feel so bad now.
Okay.
That because I am an image director. So
Right.
which means I possess the goals to be able to have a conversation with you in 5 minutes and change your life.
Mhm.
That's just gonna happen on top, just based on what I say. So that's how I kind of got control of
Right, but what I'm
that.
saying is, people
Being a
tend to take that,
Trendsetter.
and you can be the greatest person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I very rarely ask people for anything. You know why? Because I got some pride in it. I feel like I should be able to get and do it. I know we all
Which
need
is a
help.
sin.
We all need help.
But pride is a sin.
Well, I got that.
That's
I
a
got that.
sin, child.
But as a man, you should be able to stand on your own. You're gonna always need help.
You can't stand. That's the. You know what? That's the
Talk to me.
problem with you men.
Talk to me.
Thinking y'all can stand. Y'all can't stand, and y'all can't even pee right.
I don't know about them.
How y'all gonna stand?
I make it in the
like
ring all the
yourselves?
time. I make it in the ring all the time.
Wait, let me
Practice make
Let me tell
perfect.
you something. Ain't no man and ain't no woman good without that partnership.
No. I'm not eliminating the partner. No. Do not get that.
But
mistaken.
I just don't like when men say they can stand alone. My dad.
No. I said they
should.
should be able to stand on their own.
They can't.
They should be.
It's not a such thing.
Okay,
You gonna need some coochie. You gonna need some
No.
food.
See, you keep trying to
What are you talking
pick certain
about?
things. First of all, let me break it down to you.
Break it
Most men, unfortunately, when they move out of their mom house, they move in with a woman. They've never had their own place.
True.
You can't sit there and tell me you great at this when you never had your
You
own.
ain't never paid a bill.
That's what I mean by
Never
being able
got
to
an
stand on your own.
extension. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So making those
It do make you
sacrifices.
think, like, now I'm getting older, and I do be wanting to ask, like, have you ever got an extension?
Do you got a line of credit?
Right, what is your line of credit?
You know?
Wait, I got community credit, but what kind of line of credit do
Right.
you have? You know what I mean? Like, do you know what apples and oranges are? Do you know what,
Can you wash? Can you cook? Can you clean?
How's your Social Security doing?
Right.
Like, if something happens to you right now, do I get any money
Right.
from that?
Am I in there well?
But maturity ain't no joke.
That's
You
right.
gotta sleep with a couple of people to figure out that something ain't
She
right
said a couple.
in the air. Where's your
And
mama?
and that's what I mean by
Where is your
never
mama?
ever
Maisha Lynn is on the
excluding-
mic. One of my models too.
never ever excluding a woman, because my mother, I was raised by a great woman.
Praise
You know
God.
what I'm saying? And so I have 8 sisters. So I really love everything about a woman. I'm not excluding a woman, but what I'm saying is for a young boy growing up into manhood, we got it so twisted. We think about how many women, how big our thing is, how good we can work it, how much money we have. They equate that to manhood. But you've never lived on your own. You've never maintained a job.
I swear I did not know that. And I was with my man, my ex-husband for 13 years. And when I got with this man, he was living with a woman. Right? So I'm thinking he got his own room. I checked the registration on his car, it wasn't right. And 13 years later, I got 3 kids and sex marks on my breast now. And it makes me think that I should have really looked at that registration. And I should have really looked at the fact that he was written and wrote by a strange woman. Because I was a stranger to him for 13 years.
Wow.
And I'm saying this message to all these little girls.
Come on.
You sleeping with these boys? I don't give a damn. I'm not. I swear, the next man, I'm not opening my leg. Let me meet your mama.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Well, I don't think I can open these. Because this gold right here, it makes things happen. I'm magical down there. But you don't want to stay. So let me meet your mama first. Ladies, if you can't meet their mama first, don't do it. Because you just might end up with a nutcracker.
That's why I carry mace.
But some of them like mace. You ain't never seen a bulldog. You mace a bulldog and he just be like,
You know what?
he like it.
Yeah, I take that back. I did that to somebody. He just started foaming like, dang, nothing. I was like, oh my God.
Right. That makes and I'm saying it because I had a bulldog. Child, I knew something was wrong when I threw a starch can at his ass. And that motherfucker did like this. But then he was like, you mad at me? You want a Snicker? What you mean? I knew that the violence wasn't going to stop then. And that was, 6 years ago? Threw a starch can at him. And it didn't stop until I tried to kill myself 2 years ago.
Mm.
It didn't stop. I couldn't get his ass out that damn house. That fool was showing up to the door with sheriffs and restraining orders. And people talking about, why don't you just kick him out? I tried, but this fool would come to the door with the sheriffs and be like, I'm home, baby. And this was a real nigga. You know, the N-I-G-G-A. This was one of them real ones that Mace ain't gonna stop.
Yeah, see, and that's
good daddy, but
that's what I
bad
mean by
husband.
stand on his own. He should bring something to the table more, and that's the same way thing for women. Something to the table more than just what's between your legs.
Right.
Can we build together? Can we grow together? Damn a relationship, companionship. Can we take this journey together? See, a relationship gonna come and go. As it was once explained to me, relations, we know each other. We both on the same ship, but we go in two different directions.
Right.
But companion, y'all go in the same direction. You got a clear understanding. And so for a strong woman, a good woman, any Joe can't come into her life. That's why they intimidate. You see what I'm saying? But yet for that woman that wanna, I can change him. Okay.
I don't think I ever wanted to change. I think from a woman's perspective, I thought that the partnership would come, through thick and thin, sickness and health, including my disease.
Better or worse.
It was one of those days where he was, prior to the diagnosis, I was crazy. I was lazy and I was bossy. Can you imagine that?
Crazy, lazy, and bossy.
Lazy and bossy. And I would just lay in the bed like, oh my God, I'm crazy. My vagina's swollen. But I can't have sex. But they called me the hydraulic queen. You can't put your legs up. But I thought at the end of the day, even with the diagnosis, that there would be a significant partnership based on not our education, not our money, but that we had each other. Because that's all I knew. My father's a great man. My twin brother is a great man. My uncle is a great man. My grandfather, we just did his 90th birthday party last week. A great man. I didn't know what a nigga was.
That's right. That's right. Come on now.
I'm coming from that, you hear all those women say, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. Well, baby, I had china cabinets and pearls when I was 2.
That's right. Come on.
So, I'm sorry, we had plastic on our couch. It was real antiques going on in my life. So I don't know, we had roaches, we had rats, but we had great men. So I just thought that when I got into a relationship that it would be
a great man.
A great partnership. That's why I gave him 3 babies, because I was hoping that in spite of my career, in spite of my leaky ear, in spite of everything that I was going through, that we could get through this together. It was until that point where I started noticing I was the one paying for the TVs and the air conditioners and the refrigerator and the computer and all the mattresses.
And the drawers he got on.
No, I wasn't paying for them because it was falling out the closet every other day. He had shit like
piled up.
And then when I cleaned up his closet, he talking shit like, oh, why you clean up my closet? Because shit was falling out that I didn't know he had. And then he'd be dressed to impress because I've organized his closet. But he would go crazy about me cleaning his closet.
There's a secret in that joint.
It was so many.
There's a secret in that joint.
Child, he was, child. And that's the thing, like, women really need to honestly sit down with these men mothers and kind of see who she is. Because then that kind of lets you know what type of man you really dealing with. You got to check behind the toilets and see. Because if you get to telling him to clean your toilet, and his toilet ain't clean, things might come out a little different.
And that's what I'm talking about. A man being able to stand on his own.
A little different.
A man should be able to stand on his toilet should be clean.
Yeah, exactly.
With
he
bleach.
should be able to get an extension.
Yeah.
Because my lights was always off. Every 3 to 6 months. This fool was putting $10 on the bill and whatnot, and I didn't know. I trusted him to pay those bills. But, I mean it when I say, to these lady listeners and these men listeners, ask these helpers, what's an extension? Because if they can't communicate, your lights is going to get cut off.
Yeah.
All I had to do was communicate on the phone and say I needed an extension. But I didn't even know how to do that, Nasha, because I was so isolated by a man that I had been with for 13 years. I did not even know how to just put $20 on a bill a month. I'm fighting a disease and thinking I'm the shit from all this Louis Vuitton and doing hair. I didn't know how to go about putting $40 on the bill a month. I didn't know none of that stuff, but it was based on my partner. Me and my partner wasn't.
Right, it wasn't a real part. Because, I got buddies that are married, and one of the things they tell me about their marriage is, outside of companionship, it's a business ship.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of business.
And I say this all the time. One of my buddies, he fell off. Work and everything went all bad.
Yeah.
Wife said, I got you, babe. He said, well, while I'm looking for work, I'm going to go back to school.
Right.
Things changed for wife, and now he was the breadwinner.
Right.
She said, I'm going to go back to school
And I
and do
hope
this.
he was washing the dishes.
You know, oh no, they worked as a team.
That's
for real.
what's up.
And now when I look at them, they buying rental property, they doing their thing.
Right.
And that's what I look for in a woman. I look for a partnership.
Right.
Because see, old school women, what they did was they learned their name. And then they learned how to love whatever they didn't like about him.
Right.
And he got better based on that love.
Right.
Today, we want it perfect out the gate. Because we
I
deserve
just want a
more.
man.
Nothing
I mean, I got a man right now, but I'm just saying. Me? I'm just saying. Listen.
Oh boy. Come on with it.
There's nothing like me going to the grocery store, putting the groceries in the car, coming home, putting them in the refrigerator, and then still having to wipe the refrigerator out, and then having to prepare the food, and then cook the food, and then washing the dishes, and you haven't helped with none of those steps, you best believe you ain't gonna have a plate on the table. Period. And that goes to any man. And I think it's because I know I'm a queen. I know I'm Julian Rogers' daughter. I am extremely cocky when it comes to the black men in my family saying, Bianna, you are beautiful and you are gorgeous. My mother is fine as hell. My father is fine as hell. Not because of their appearance, but because of themselves eternally. So for me, I'm just like, when am I gonna get married?
Right.
Right.
You saw me about that dang dress.
I'm not letting my daddy give me away to no man that is not at least doing half of those things with me in the kitchen. And I got lupus. I ain't got no business doing all that stuff anyway.
You know, one of the things is for me, I have 5 kids, but one I've had since she was 3 days old. And as long as she was old enough to open the door for herself, she don't open doors. She knows that. And I make it clear to her.
Please talk about
You know what
this
I'm
open door policy.
I mean, a lot of men don't
Men
do
are
it.
not opening doors.
My son is doing it. He only 6.
Do you
Go ahead,
know I
baby.
can fall out the car? Do you know it can be water right here? Do you know a man can come and take me from you just because you didn't open the door for me? Do you know that men will respect you more based on how you treat your woman?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't open the door for me in front of a man, you best believe that man gonna try to get me, because child, I be going on my porch and I be seeing all kind of stuff based on how a man is treating me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and that's another thing I tell my boys, how you talk to me is how you gonna talk to your teachers.
Yep. Yep.
How you talk to me is how you're gonna talk to those police officers.
Mm-hmm.
So for men or partners, if I treated my man like shit, trust and believe the next woman gonna try to run up. But if she already know, oh, Bianna gonna cater to him, she gonna do this, she ain't
She
gonna
gonna
try
say,
to run
"I ain't
up,
doing
but
all
she
that
gonna
she
be
doing."
kind of cuckoo.
That part.
But if a man is disrespecting a woman,
Come on now.
oh my God, I swear to God, I used to have so many men getting at me because my children's father was abusive to me.
Mm.
And I would be so sick to my stomach because I knew, because every time he made me cry, there was a man in the corner looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he'd get the knocking on my door or calling or in my inbox. But it was based on how I was being treated.
Yeah, because
And how could you not open the door for a woman like me? I be having hits and
See,
stuff. Oh, like,
my thing is this: when
And
it
it's
comes down
real.
to,
Yeah,
to,
it
to
is.
our children, they are definitely our image. If you got 20 kids, you're gonna see some 20 different things in each one of those, but they all is in you.
mm-hmm.
And so
Rocky,
my
bad.
daughter will sit in the car, and I always test her. I act like I forgot, and I walk halfway where I'm going, and she'll just be sitting there.
I know that's right.
And that's what she's supposed to do. And I said, this is the same command that you have when you out there.
Because he's telling you, I'm your partner.
Exactly. Absolutely.
I am your partner. And I'm telling you, any man that is watching this, if you don't open the door for me 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to open my legs for you that night.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm feeling some type of way. What would my daddy think if we pulled up and you didn't open the door for me?
Mm-hmm.
What would my twin brother think? And I'm sorry, but that's just, I'm a woman of my own, but at the same time, I just kind of know better, so I do better and I act
within
better.
the man. And you can't get around it,
I
and
can't
that's
believe
the
you
whole
brought
thing.
that up.
Well, you know,
oh my
we kind of talk about a number of
God.
different things, but we
I
get it
have
from
been
your
dating
perspective.
men in the last couple of years, and you know, through my suicide.
Isn't it?
I
just
mean,
crappy.
it's a lot of niggas.
It's a whole lot of
There's
them.
nothing else I can call them, y'all.
That's
And
why
they will
mind
tell you
business.
they a nigga.
That's why I mind my business.
What you mean you a nigga? I'm just a nigga trying to get him. What?
Yes.
Do you know what that is? And be serious.
Ignorance at its
Why am I
best.
open the door for you when, first off, because I'm bringing it up. Secondly, because it's the right thing to do to protect me. Thirdly, because I have a disease.
Mm-hmm.
Fourthly, because you don't want this other man to see this. Men are hawks. Good men at that. They'll flash some change and flash their registration real quick on the good one. They be like, look, I got this, I got this education, I got stocks and bonds, my
That's
social
right.
security, woo, 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 woo.
Well, for all you ladies listening, when you go to check my registration,
Look at you,
it's
look
up
at
under
you.
the corporation, because if anything go wrong, you get nothing out the
Right.
deal.
Are you leasing
You
or
know
you
what I'm saying?
buying?
Everything is under the corporation. I ain't playing. So once you learn this game and you know it, you know how to protect yourself.
But I'm 38 now.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had all that knowledge when I was younger. I wish
I'm
I
getting it
could
now.
sit down with a man and actually say, what is your 10-year goal? What is your 5-year goal?
Absolutely.
Are you community resourceful?
Mm-hmm.
What are your qualifications? Now, my favorite thing to ask men is, what kind of certificates do you have?
Oh, my office right there. I got about 20, 30 on the wall. Shoot. You know.
I do.
But
I
you have
asked-
to.
Yeah, I asked my daughter's baby's father that. That was the first thing I asked him, and he was like, what you mean? You ain't got your gun license? High school certificate? That's what I mean. What
Do you
kind
have
of
anything with
certificate?
your name on it besides birth
Do
certificate,
you
social
have-
security card?
So ladies, ask these men what kind of certificates do they have? You don't even have a CPR?
Man,
Because I did that. When did I do my CPR?
every 2 years for me. Keep it up.
I did my CPR because I did phone sex for 2 years.
Phone sex. Good Lord. 976.
I'm so glad I did it.
You learned a lot
Cause,
about it.
yeah, because I can get them sponsors on deck from
Come
my
on
line
now.
of
See,
communications on the phone.
another, and it's not, phone sex is not a negative, but it's not
It's
the
not.
most morally thing to do, but another thing that you've taken and used it for something great.
You know what? I liked that job. It was at a corporate building. It was on Wilshire. I got a check every 2 weeks. My daddy just killed the game because I was talking really sexy one day, and he said, "Deanna, what are you doing?" And I was like, "What do you mean? You know, what are you doing?" He said, "Deanna, what kind of job do you have? Because you never said what kind of job you had. I'm coming in and out the house running, you know,
Mm-hmm.
9 to 5." And I said, "Daddy, I'm doing phone sex." And he said, I don't know about that. I said, because he thought it was a secretary because I was working in a corporate office. But the reason why I stopped working there was 2 weeks after 9/11, a councilman had called. And the councilman basically wanted me to get into the act. And I asked him where he was calling from. He said, New York. Well, what happened? You know, our job as a phone sex operator is to keep the client on the phone.
Long as
You don't
possible.
want to let them release themselves, because if they release themselves, they're going to release their credit card.
Right.
So, you know, you keep them on the phone and you want to maintain this conversation. So he said, you know, screw you, and I don't give a damn about 9/11. And I think I checked into cosmetology school probably about 3 weeks after that.
Mm.
I had kind of was like, oh, I don't think I should be, you know, doing this. But it was, I wouldn't say what's morally incorrect, because you're actually saving lives by doing that type of job, because it's giving those men the option not to rape or not to violate. And I'm glad, because as a woman, I know what fetishes are. So I can't even be with a man now and not know what his fetish is. If he doesn't kind of tell me what his fetish is, I'm like, you lying. Everybody got a damn fetish. They might keep it secretively, from you or from whomever, but everybody got some type of thing that stimulates what they got going on in their life.
Well,
It's,
I've lost words. Now I'm trying to think of what the hell is my fetish now, because I just love beautiful women, and maybe that's my fetish. But
some of the fetishes were balloons.
Okay, okay.
Some of the fetishes were tickling. Some of the fetishes were feathers.
Some of the people putting jubers in their derriere.
Were feet, or on the road, or in a space that they're not supposed to be in, an office setting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do that have to be a fetish? Because you can just be spontaneous like me,
Or
you can be
exhibitionist.
spontaneous, but a fetish is based on something that literally makes you aroused.
It's just a thought, like, oh yes.
That's the fetish. Because you go into that space.
Not necessarily. You ain't got to go into that space. You can just think about it. Like, damn.
You went into that space. That's the fetish.
I'm gonna be quiet, lady.
I guess my mind is just.
So you don't have a fetish.
We're not gonna talk
I'm
about
gonna put my headphones all the way on.
Wait.
I'm going
They
quiet.
grab the bars or not. I see you.
I plead the fifth. That's how I'm
Baby, fetishes, but I'm a Scorpio, so I'm all jacked up. Born on Halloween too, I ain't no joke.
Well, I'm a Pisces, so I don't know. If y'all want to go by the whole
Y'all
story.
some fish. Y'all like to swim and get out and get right back in. That's what Pisces do. They do what they want to. My
Only
little
on
sisters
Beakon
are Pisces.
Radio will we get this sexual education.
Right, sexual education 101.
Come
Yeah,
on
well, we ain't gonna talk about my shenanigans.
Okay. Let me find out.
Girl, let me find out that you found out.
I see you grab the rail, Dasha. I see you.
Let me sit on my hands, girl.
Right.
Sit on my hands. Girl,
Look, baby like silver.
I like a lot of stuff, girl. I like a lot of stuff.
Silver and leather.
Girl, I need to take a nap.
Yeah, I just got quiet. Sometimes, the smartest person in the room was the one that sit back and be quiet and just learn,
Oh, that's what I've been doing this whole time.
I'm
Just
just
take
learning.
it all in.
But-
Lady in the shade.
Right.
But now let's get back to something, because you do something that I'm so passionate about. It's my retirement plan. It's what I've dedicated my life to, which is I don't consider myself a community activist. Some people say that I am. Part of what I do is gang intervention.
Yeah.
And and LAPD finally has admitted last year that with gang interventions aid in this here violence intervention section of Los Angeles, it's about a 64% decrease in murders. Without us, it's like a 3 or 4%
Right.
retaliation rate. Now, talk about some of the things that you actually do in the community, because I think that is really critical, because there are a number of parents, although I have had Generation X group now 5 or 6 years, I know that I can't save every child.
Right.
So I'm not going to fool myself. We all have to work hand in hand. As my pastor like to say, we get arm to arm and ready to shield up and go to war. Let's talk about some of the things that you do in the community, because you mentioned earlier, you do a lot of things and you don't even put a price tag on, which a lot of people don't even understand.
I can't.
So let's talk
I
about
feel
that.
like people can't even pay me enough any damn way.
Come on now.
And congratulations to you, as far as the gang intervention. One of my brothers from the 240s, as we call it, brothers taking back responsibility for our community, which is Mr. Duck, Darcel Gray. I don't know if you've been able to meet him. He's in District 9 as well.
You
With
from 107?
You said what?
You from 107?
No.
Okay. It's like two ducks that I know that's in this
No,
area.
most so like East Coast.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
So do we work with Pete?
I'm not sure. I think
Okay.
so.
Chapter 2?
Where's Darrell Gray?
Yeah, chapter 2 over here on well, I think they moved. They went on Manchester just after Avalon.
No, his location is more so on Main. Is it Main and 50 something? Which one? Yeah, it's on 51st and Main.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Volunteers of America.
Yes. Okay, he's over there.
Yep.
Okay, I know
Yep.
you're talking about.
So in the community, number one thing that I do is, like I said, I'm a calculated type of person. I was the first liaison at Knox Elementary
Okay.
School, and first parent president. I received keys to my classroom within 3 months of me being there, which was awesome. So I
Trendsetter.
was the first, the first teacher, but it was on Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
The school that I have right now is on Main Street,
Okay.
which is Juanita Tate Aspire Elementary. My neighborhood upbringing is Mafia, Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's calculated. It's crazy. It's the craziest thing in the world. What I do in the community is, number one, I have trees on my block.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to create some type of level of entry in case of a bad situation, whatever that bad situation was. I wanted to have a level of entry so that I could communicate in an effective way in regards to me sitting down with the councilman and saying, these are the issues that we're having in our community. This is why the City of Los Angeles certificates are so important. It's to create a foundation for artists to have great portfolios so that they can now have a real conversation with real people.
Absolutely.
Because you
Absolutely.
cannot at all say that you doing this and this and that and you don't have any portfolios with you. Professionally speaking, I show my artists more than I talk about it. I show them that it's very important to print. Print as much as your work as possible, because don't nobody want to see your cell phone and see your pictures. They want to see your images.
Shoot.
So that's one of the things that I do in my community is being a sponsor and making sure that I can showcase positive energy as much as possible. That's pretty much what I do. I walk the blocks. I try to go to as many meetings as I can when I'm feeling well, whether it's Shore South LA, whether it's Sage. Oh my God, I'm a part of so many different things within my community. It's unreal to be sitting here and trying to kind of go over all of the things that I'm currently involved. But as a community leader, I just try to be a part of as much positive change as possible, even if it goes down to one of my biggest stressors of where I currently live at, and just maintaining the alley, maintaining the indoors, and saying, you guys, we cannot showcase liquor bottles to children. That's a form of soliciting. But here it is, they've never really seen a black woman who has been humbled, who's used to living in a big ass house, who's used to living in a great manner, now being shut down and living in a smaller space and having to be boisterous and say, this cannot happen where I live at.
Right.
Now what y'all do is what y'all do, but when it comes to when these gates is closed, even in this apartment building, this is my front porch, and this is my backyard, and this is the side of my house.
That part.
Even though it's an apartment building.
That part don't matter.
It don't matter.
It's
And it's brought change, even in my building. You know, I've noticed that people now, they think twice about putting a cigarette on the floor. And you know, instead of just putting it in an ashtray. I thought that was weird when I moved into my building,
Right.
how people could just drop,
In
you know,
their yard.
you know, they had little blunt pieces and stuff. And I'm like, a baby could pick that up. You know, it's kind of strange. So as a community leader, yeah, from my apartment building all the way to me going to the elementary schools to even being a little bossy little lady in the industry. As a community leader, I do as much as I can to give as much as this game as I got. Because one of the things that I can't stand is to hear people say the game is to be sold and not to be told. Well, I think Willie Lynch made that up because we're supposed to be telling our people this game.
Come on now. Putting our coattails so
We're
we can
supposed
grow.
to be educating our people with the value of integrity, because it's really not about $1. It's about, can you go get an orange from your neighbor? Because I know I can.
Yes.
Let me go outside of my porch and say Vienna needs an orange. You best believe I'm going to have about 4 gangsters trying to give me an orange and 4 old ladies. Somebody going to give Vienna an orange. But it's because of the energy that I put out.
And you know what? It's you're absolutely right. It's just there. That's what make, and you didn't come here saying that you were a leader, so I'm saying this. That's what make you a great leader. You're able to communicate.
Oh no, I
with people.
take full responsibility as being a leader.
Okay, but you never gave yourself that title, so yeah.
But community leader,
Yeah.
oh, for sure. Oh,
See,
my block, I don't play. I be outside of the road, sweeping.
Old school, huh?
I picked up gum. You know why? Because I went on a meeting. No, even before that. But let me give you guys an example. Los Angeles, we just lost. I think it was $14 million. And the reason why we lost that $14 million is because we went on a secret tour with lead officers, councilmen, and all of these people part of the community so we can work on the railroad to river project, which is on Slauson and Crenshaw. Well, we needed some money so we can finish this project. Because if you notice, it's not being worked on.
Right.
Officially. But it's because we need money. And people like me go to these meetings to get this money. Well, when we went on this private tour, do you know, all the way from Slauson, all the way down to La Brea, nobody was sweeping in their front yards. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm out there sweeping, ain't nobody sweeping. Ain't nobody sweeping. And you know, we lost that grant. Because those people on that tour bus that were private investors felt like your people don't even care about their community. So we might as well take this money to Palisades in Manhattan Beach, where you're going to see little white people running around with little bags in their hand. They even pick up boo-boo. They'll pick up another dog boo-boo. That ain't even their dog.
Come on now.
But when you come to my block, you're going to see a can, and Vienna Rogers knows who put that can there. You best believe I knows what's going on my block, not because I'm the nosy neighbor, because I'm a liaison. And anybody who knows what a liaison is, you're going to mess with the gangsters, and you're going to mess with the politics. You got to.
That's what liaison
does. You're not no snitch, but you're going to protect both parties to make sure that the middle ground is protected. And that's what I love about being a liaison, because it's very important to have that type of education and to be able to monitor it in everyday life as a liaison.
Absolutely.
But I go outside and I sweep. I be out there with the road.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. And here's the thing. I watch people do it all the time. And I grew up. My mother would clean up, like she would clean out the yard, because my house was the house where everybody hung out at. My family pretty much created the gang in our community. And so they would clean up, and you would watch them, water down. Can't do it too much now because we got this water crisis. But they would water down, they would sweep all the stuff up in a pile, and then they would pick it up. They wouldn't just sweep it in a pile and leave it there. They would pick it up. And see, when people go through our communities, here's the thing. When they go back to their huddle, they say they live like animals.
They do.
They live like animals.
They do.
What we're going to do is we're going to get them out of there. We're going to clean that place up because they don't appreciate. Then they say gentrification. No, brother, it's re-gentrification because they were here.
Let me tell you something. My building was so African American. Not right now, because Deanna Rogers lives there, so you best believe we have Latinos living in our building. How is that possible? I'm talking about full-fledged gangsters in my building. Did anybody want to live in my building?
Mm-hmm.
But because Deanna Rogers is in there cleaning it for free,
Mm-hmm.
we got Latinos up in there. So
Mhm.
every now and then, I got to have a fallout with one of them gangsters. Like, listen, check it out. This is y'all fault. Y'all, number one, y'all should be. How you gonna be a gangster from your community, but you don't have a house in your community? That's problem number one. Because if you don't have a house or any type of value in that community, you're not going to value it.
Right.
If I have trees in City of Los Angeles certificates, I have value in my community. But
Right.
if you don't have none of those things, you typically will go outside and see a can on the floor and not pick it up. But that's kind of weird because you live there.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not want to pick up a piece of tissue or, anything that you see on the ground in your, even if I go to Manhattan Beach and if I see a piece of paper on the ground, I'm one of the freeway callers too. If I'm on the freeway and I see something that ain't right, I'm calling 911. And the reason why is because 9 times out of 10 ain't nobody else gonna call. And that could kill somebody that is a piece of glass on the road or that is a piece of wood on the floor. I'm one of them the pedestrian people. If I see a pedestrian in the middle of the street, I let them cross the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those people, if I see you with a flat tire in this kind of daylight and I can help you, I'm not waiting on AAA because I need that back.
Right.
I need
right.
to be stuck on the road with my kids and somebody pull over and help me.
Come on now. Come on.
You gotta be humble though. And people, I didn't even understand what humble is. But when you fall and you bust your face wide open and you can't be a model no more, you kind of think, let me treat these other models better.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I can't be a model. Because my face is busted open. And my face took, 6 months to heal? And then even after that, I went into the coma.
Mm.
I lost my truck. I lost my house. I lost all that pretty furniture that I had. I lost all of that stuff. And that's what made me humble to have to be forced to move into a transitional building and be a part of change. That humbled the hell out of me.
Oh yes. I know the feeling.
To lose it all was like, oh my God, where's my big black truck? Sitting on these rims.
Isn't the worst part when you lose it all, you walk into a store and now you're embarrassed because you have to ask the price.
Right.
I know
And I'm
what
a
it is. I've
cash
been
out,
there.
cash out girl. I just want it. Just give it to me.
I used to
Credit
shop at
cards or
Men's
nothing.
Land right here in the mall. Muhammad was the owner. I don't know if he still own it.
Mm-hmm.
He would call me. He knew my sizes and everything. I said,
Right.
let's put it, the new stuff coming
Because
in.
it ain't made unless it's tailor-made.
Pablo, put it to the side. I got you. I walk in with a $3,500 ticket. Man, not a problem. Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when I fell off, I walked in the store.
Hmm.
I had to ask the price. I was so embarrassed. I chose not to ask the price and I just left. But that's that humbling experience we need to go through.
Yeah, not
And-
being able to do hair
Come on now.
and having to tell my clients, I can't do your hair today. I really can't because I really don't feel good. And to turn down $250 a weave, and wigs wasn't popping. Wigs was not popping at all when I was doing hair. You had to get that Indian hair imported. And so to be able to turn down that money and for my health and everything, it humbled the hell out of me. Now, if I see somebody acting crazy on the road, I try to pay attention to them more than I pay attention to anybody else because they need help right now and they're screaming for help.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. Now I know what that scream or that
Come on
cry
now.
for help means.
Come on now.
I can't stand when people be on Facebook talking about she begging for attention, bitch. She is.
And the whole thing
She
about it
is asking for
I
attention.
just seen somebody on
Or
Facebook
he
say,
asking for attention.
what did the
He
girl
is.
say? She said, I'm having suicidal thoughts. I just want to kill myself.
Yeah.
And she had like 71 comments, and they
Yeah.
were all encouraging. I went straight to her inbox. Hey,
Right.
listen, here's the number. Call this number. Because I don't counsel women as a counselor. That's not my angle.
Well, you're not supposed to. It's actually, yeah.
So I'm like, here's my homegirl's number. She's a wonderful counselor. Please call her. And for me, between that and prayer, that's the best I can give you. Now, if it's a guy, I mean, everybody, yo, bro, what's happening with you? Call me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you some real talk.
Depression is real.
You know, and people don't get that. There are people that's changing their bodies due to depression, changing their bodies due to low self-esteem, and as a community activist, it's not just the games. It's the cleaning your block. It's the opening the gate for Miss Dorothy over here. It's the talking to the brother over here who's homeless and he stinks, and all he needs is somebody just to say hi.
Right.
And that is what a community
because he's been saying hi
does.
all his life. He's so tired of saying hi.
You see what I'm saying? And when I go to schools and I talk to kids, because that's a part of what I do, I've written 6 different curriculums on troubled behavior. And so when I go to schools and I talk to kids, I start out this way. I say, today, I want everybody to give me your name and just one word as to how you feel this very moment.
Right. Sad, mad, glad.
And I said, what you can't say is, I'm good, I'm straight. I said, because I had a buddy who we talked to, and he said, what's happening? You good, homie? Yeah, I'm good, homie. And then he went home and killed his girl and himself. He wasn't good. So when I say, how you doing, give me one word. And because my major is psychology, I take that one word, it tells me exactly where you at right now. You see what I'm saying? And so kids find that, oh, you really want to know how I'm doing?
Right.
Yes, I do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And adults, unfortunately, are still kids. They're just big kids.
Yeah.
And they need somebody to say, man, how you really doing?
And now, you know, with social media, it's shutting down the integrity of really saying how you feel.
Come on now.
I don't give a damn. I'm like, because at the end of the day, either you going to come to my house or not. My job is to just go on Facebook and say, seizure, which lets you know that Vianna was probably on the phone at that time and she had a seizure. So your job is to call my people and let them know Vianna had a seizure or whatever, because that's why I do it. I'm feeling depressed. Why? Because I tried to kill myself 2 years ago. And you heifers, I'm saying it to all the people who watch, it was so interesting that when I tried to kill myself, when I woke up and laying in that bed after 2 days, they said I was out for about 2 days. There was so many people in the hospital room. None of them people came to wash my dishes a week or two before.
None of them really asked you how you doing.
And
No, how you really doing.
They never really asked, Vianna, are you okay?
Right.
You know how you vent to people, you be like, girl, come and get these kids, but they never come. But you really want them to come and get your kids. Social media has taught us now to not eat, to be apologetic for our own real faults. Now we're apologizing and we're giving you something else to make you feel better about us. You know, people they ask me, why did you put this bald-headed picture of yourself? So you guys can see the real Vianna. Because I'm so tired of you people wondering if I got it or not. No, I got it. Now it's in your face. If you don't know I got it, go on my wall and now you going to see Vianna bald-headed as hell. And it is not my fault. I'm a hairstylist.
But you know what? See, what people don't understand is, if we don't know our history. See, I was a little kid. I was about 12 or 13, and I was embarrassed. My mother cut all her hair off. Wasn't nothing wrong with it.
Tony Braxton.
She just cut her hair off. Yep.
New change. The spring cleaning.
As a little kid, I'm sitting there like, man.
It's a part of spring cleaning.
But as I watch old school movies, there were a lot of women with bald heads. Grace Jones.
It's easy to
See
make
what I'm saying?
time
And then it's like, as black folks, because you brought him up, Willie Lynch, because of the Willie Lynch Chronicles, we deem that as a negative. We deem that as, oh, I know how to break you. I'm gonna cut all your woman's hair off, and she gonna look like a man. But see, they ain't knowing that there were African women walking around like that because it signified beauty. You see?
And when I shaved my head, I felt a sense of release that I was now free. It's almost like when you see, oh my God, what is her name? I can't think of her name right now, but she did this video where she released herself as a naked woman throughout the entire video. But for me, it was more so like, okay, Vianna, start new. I was already spring cleaning. I had just redecorated my children's bedroom and did a couple of things in my hallway and stuff. So I was just like, you know what, forget it, Beyonce. You don't need to be walking around with no patches of hair in your head. Shave it all off. Be free.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I feel, I swear, like every week I try to work on my personality and how I feel as a woman and how I feel as a mother and a motivator and a community leader. And I know that I have to take more responsibility now because I have this disease and I have this platform.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel more of a queen. You know, even
now.
though everybody call me a queen, but it makes me feel more because now I'm able to exemplify what every woman is.
Come on. Every level.
Every level.
And did you? And I know you seen Black Panther.
Yeah.
Them women were so sexy with them bald heads.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the
Because
2
it's
years
freedom.
ago.
It's
Right.
a freedom.
2 years ago, I was at the Lucas Walk at the Rose Bowl, and this woman, chocolate, dark skinned,
Mhm.
sexy woman.
Mhm.
Her head was as smooth as this,
Yeah.
and she was walking with her friend, and I kept looking at her. I noticed she kept looking at me, but I kept looking at her because she looked so sexy, so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know. And finally, me and my buddy did the red carpet set up for her.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I said, excuse me. And she said, yes. She had the biggest smile. I said,
Yeah.
I just want to tell you something. And she said, what is it? I said, I'm not even flirting, but I want to tell you, you're sexy as hell. Damn, you look good with
Did
that
you
bald
tell
head.
her mama that she
And
was
she
sexy?
smiled and she said, thank you. I
Right.
appreciate that. Because we need to hear that.
Right.
Men need to hear, you're a very handsome brother. You know,
Right.
because we don't lift each other up on the smallest level.
Right.
And because just look at where you were, a model, then you fall, you split your face open. Now you have to regroup your whole life because modeling was your life.
Yeah.
Now you got to regroup. Now you have to reinvent.
And modeling was more so, you know, don't nobody want to get her hair done by the ugly woman in the room.
Mhm.
You know, so that was my standpoint of modeling. You know, so when the women would walk in the salon, you know, we was like this.
Right.
We look good. You know, we got the Louis bag for showcase. You know, our stations were already nice. You know, but I was just beautiful. You know, by the grace of God, the scar went to the middle of
Yeah.
my nose.
Mhm.
And my auntie Raylene, I love my auntie. I don't even talk to my auntie that much, but my auntie said, Vivi, that's gonna be your warrior room. Now you'll be remembered more so. And it's so weird because only 50% of the population recognize the scar on my nose,
Mhm.
and then the other 50% are like, what happened to you? So it literally, it does work because then it gives that black queen that scar. And I really didn't understand how important it was, you know, in our culture to be scarred, you know, in all these different countries. It was because
Right.
to give that identification of who you were and who you belong to.
You know, I had a
So
woman
now I
tell me.
belong to Vienna with this
I
scar.
had a woman tell me years ago, I got scars from fighting, you
Mhm.
know, and I remember we were laying there and she was like, I think it's right here, she was rubbing this scar. And I kind of pulled my head away and she says, why are you moving your head? I just want to touch your beauty marks.
Right.
And she said, this is what makes you handsome.
Yeah.
You know, and then I saw a movie with Shaka Zulu.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw them as scars, you know, based on their warrior
Yeah.
success.
Yep.
You know, and again it
Honor
goes
and
back to
badge.
we find
Badge of honor.
scars and marks. Like I told my buddy, I think stretch marks kind of sexy to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
wow,
maturity.
I need a smooth body. I said, but you got a basketball under your shirt.
Right.
Yeah, you mean you expected something out of her that you can't even produce.
Right.
What does she say? I want the guy with the six pack.
Mm-hmm.
I want the guy with 0.30% body fat.
Mm-hmm. Now you hear men say, which I love, they want something right.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand what that meant before. You know, now I'm excited because I'm one of those,
You one of those right women.
you know, I'm one of those sugar daddy women.
Okay.
I'm one of those women of the R. Kelly experience.
Mm.
I didn't date R. Kelly, but I did have a lot of older men who took advantage of being with a young, unripened, uneducated little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that now because Ain't no damn way a grown ass man should want to be with an unripened little bitty girl. And I lost a lot of my life based on thinking that that was okay. Thinking that being with a man 13 years older was age ain't nothing but a number. But that's some bullshit because that man is ripened and he already knows what he wants and he already knows what is good and bad. And when you get with an older man, he can show you some stuff, but there's nothing like that life road or that life experience that a man your age can appreciate you going through with each other.
Mhm. So now, since you touched on that, I totally disagree with what R. Kelly did.
Mm-hmm.
Like I tell some people,
I just don't understand a man with all that money. You ain't gotta rape nobody. These heifers will just give it to you.
well, you know the thing.
You don't gotta
like I
isolate
said,
them. I mean, if you want a young woman, that's fine. But
Mhm.
as far as isolating a woman,
Right.
abusing a woman, that's where my issues come in at.
Exactly.
My thing is, I'm a submissive.
Mhm.
Meaning,
See, but wait,
if I'm with a
people
great
would
man,
never know that based on your strength business-wise, based on your high self-esteem, your
well,
high
I
self-respect.
have issues when I can't be submissive.
Come on now, see?
I feel like as soon as you come to the door, I should already be dropping you like, let me take care of you, and feed you. If I can't do that
Again,
for you,
y'all heard it right
if
here
I
on
can't
Beakon
do that
Radio.
for you every day, I'm not even valuing you as a man.
Right.
And the reason being is because of what you're doing, what you're showcasing. Because I just want to be a freak and feed you. That's all I want to do. And then go on and take care of my flammer business, my then now and later business, and stuff like that. So
See,
women are just naturally submissive. That's what I'm saying.
some women.
Most of them are. That's why R. Kelly was able to get those little girls to do that.
Yeah, and
Because we are born to submit and to nurture. We was born for y'all.
Oh, absolutely.
So if you take from that, now you are harming this girl from wanting to submit, which is going to affect it's going to affect the household, the community, the block, the country, and the state. Because these women are born to be naturally submissive. But when you start taking that away, that's when you start hearing, I'm the baddest bitch, and I does what I want to, and
I'm looking at my ride and die over here.
and because you kind of don't want to be submissive because these last 10 men didn't show you, they just showed you a nigga. And it's because their mothers wasn't submissive. It just goes for generations and generations to come when one black woman or one white woman or one Asian woman has been affected by a man's penis.
Well,
Women were meant to be submissive.
I would totally agree with you with that. I totally agree. However, I can honestly tell you, there are so many women that I have encountered, whether it's through observation or personal experience, that do not know how.
Because that's what I'm saying. And that's you guys too. You guys messing with these women and ain't never met their mama or their daddy.
Well, you know what? And you're right, because guess what? And I said this
I tell my boys all the
ago.
time, don't you bring me, and no offense to all the women, but where I come from, please try not to bring me no fatherless girl. Because she does not understand herself because she don't even have a daddy. That's the first level of attraction, is your mother and your father.
Right, absolutely.
And if you're not attracted to your mother or your father, how you gonna be
That's your
attracted
first
to your
crush.
partner?
Well, but again, as I said, unfortunately, especially today, for the millennials, most of them are being raised by one parent, grandma, the system, or families, because daddy's in prison, mother just don't want to be a mother, whatever it is. And boys are not taught. And I have one son, 4 girls, 1 boy. And what I give to him is this. Let me explain something to you. Let's tell you the same thing I'm gonna tell your sisters. If you bring a guy home to me every time you meet him, then either I'm not important or he's not that important. Because for somebody to meet me, you should feel like this person is really worth it.
Right.
And so when you get a little girl, you're gonna go through these stages. You're gonna want to be a player, but that's not the right way. So I don't want you to grow up like I did, because nobody taught me how to be faithful. Nobody taught me find you a woman, marry that woman,
a
and
really
be that
good
woman.
woman wants to bring a good man home to her dad and know that they're gonna have an intellectual conversation.
Absolutely.
Well, I ain't got no daddy. He's a piece of crap. Straight up. Now.
With that being said, right? He's a piece of crap.
Yeah,
Y'all see my
just
eyes
give
get
my-
big?
Give him
I'ma
about
just
10
keep it-
years, baby.
He gonna be dead. I hope he may
Let's
be
not
dead
hope
by
nothing
then.
on nobody.
Let me take that back. Nah, my daddy's a piece of crap. Period. Point to the blank.
You know, some people are a piece of crap for a few years.
Nah, he's been a piece of crap all my life, and
That's-
that's a whole lot of my life.
That's happened a lot.
So yeah.
Okay, now,
That's happened a lot.
now,
But I just think that some people are crappy for years.
right, and but you
Some
got,
people are crappy for years.
but see, here's what we,
I was crappy
but
before I
we
got my
all were.
diagnosis.
We
I
all
was a
were.
bitch
We
and
all
didn't
were.
even know why, because I was in pain.
you see, but again,
People
and I
deal
have to
with
say
pain
this,
different ways.
emotional
You know,
trauma,
once
childhood
you
conditioning.
respect your parent as a human, you look at them differently.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy smoked, did a little crack, right? And but he was a great father the whole time. And it took me to going into labor to my first son, where I started having all of those memories of my parents. I had 3 parents, by the grace of God, and I respected them from that point on as humans, human beings. They fuck up.
You know, I don't know how to look at my parents, because I look at my mom like, you was a little slut. You was messing around with a married man. What was going on with you people?
She was a little slut.
Like,
For a little while. Everybody got a little slut in them.
But why did he have to be married? Like, yo.
Because we all,
Dude.
you can't be, when you hear Whitney Houston say, I am every woman, that's because, child, I done been a slut, hoe, gangster, hustler, pimp, and a madam. And now I'm an image director.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's just certain, there's just certain things like, yo, I wouldn't mess with no married person, period. Anybody in
Now-
a relationship,
now-
that's just off limits.
Now,
Like,
as a behaviorist, I will say this: I was raised by my mother, and I grew up in a gang, and I was like one of the most violent gang members. Meaning, when it came to rival gangs, I'm the one fighting, shooting, stabbing,
Right.
whatever it was. Okay. Not until I was about 40 years old did I understand why. I was angry. I was angry because my dad wasn't there.
All right.
Now, my dad is in my life. He's been in my life probably the last 20 years. I call him Pops. I don't call him Dad. I think for me, in order to call you Dad, you have to have some real involvement in my life. But, did he raise me? No. Did he? I mean, my dad was 5 big rigs on the road, property from Stockton, Vallejo, Modesto, Sacramento. Mom didn't do nothing. I mean, he didn't give nothing. I don't hold that against him. But what I did was, I forgave him.
Right.
Because I don't really know what happened between him and my mother.
You don't know.
And it's too late for me to try to figure
I
it
know
out.
what happened between them.
Well, how do you know what happened?
Because I know. I was old enough to realize you only wanted some coochie from my mama, and that's the only time I'ma see you. But when she said no, he ain't coming around. I already knew it was up.
But you
and
know-
she told me the story behind it.
But that
He was
goes back to
married.
submissive.
He was married. That's
But
why
that
I
goes
did
back to being submissive.
it.
That's the first level of
But
attraction.
that
when
lady
on the
could have stayed
partnership.
with my sister, father. She could have dealt with any man, but come little
But,
black
but
guy.
God had a different purpose. He had
Right.
you to be here for a reason.
So you wouldn't want to be with
So-
nobody's husband.
You know?
If you
So,
wouldn't have seen that experience, you probably would be that experience.
exactly. But you're here for a reason.
Respect your parents as humans. When you
Oh, I love
forgive
my mama.
your father too.
No, I'm good on
When you
him.
respect them as human beings
Absolutely.
and you forgive them, you're
You know
able to
what? I
forgive
forgive
yourself.
him, but I just don't respect him. I was in a situation where I needed him, and
Right.
he just completely blew me off. So when he blew me off, I called his wife and told her about me. Oh, I'm the secret child that you never knew about. I'm the one that's been calling for such and such. I'm the one that left the note on the house when y'all lived on Trinity. And
Which was good. You were supposed to tell
You
the
know, it's
partner.
just like, yeah, it was a point where I'm just like,
He probably was dealing with anxiety levels
no.
of secrecy
we
and
ain't
lying.
we are not about to make excuses up for this Jerry Curl
Not
wearing
make
smoking
excuses.
But see,
man.
but see, here's the thing, though. I'm gonna say forget him.
Wow.
Forget him. Let's talk about you in the sense of you not carrying that pain.
Right.
Because
We don't
all
want
you
to
doing
carry-
is drinking poison continuously,
I know, I
expecting
let
him to
that
die.
go. I probably made before my son. About probably 10 years ago, yeah, I let it go. Like after that situation and all of that, and I happened to see him one day, and it was just like, it was just different. It was just like, to me, it was like he wasn't even my father or my dad. It was just like he was just someone who helped
Sperm donor.
birth me, and that was it. Like, yeah, I let that go. Yeah, it's nothing. I wish it could have been different, but it just is what it is. But it ain't no burden in my life. I'm fine. My
Well,
mama
who
did a
knows?
great job.
Some parents are child molesters and rapists and murderers
I
and
have
killers.
2 older sisters and a brother.
Mhm.
My sisters on his side is like mid-50s. Like I'm the baby of the family.
Right.
Literally.
Right.
Like, so everybody's like in their 50s, even my sister on my mom's side. And I got a bunch of nieces and nephews, uncles, and it's crazy because there's people that was in the area that know about me, that I'm his daughter.
Right.
But I was
The bastard child.
it was just a mess,
Yeah.
a mess, like crazy.
But
The
it's-
uncle.
it's
That
not-
gives you
it's-
that
It's not your mess to
integrity,
clean
though.
up,
You
though.
know,
Oh
have
no,
that,
of course not.
you have that story to tell that is so valuable for your father and people of that generation to hear, because even you speaking of it right now expresses how important it is not to leave one child behind.
Yeah, it's jacked up, and I think I say that to my kids. That he always be like, "Oh, I'm gonna come get my son." I'm like, you got 2 kids, right? You can't come get your daughter too. You not coming to get neither one.
Right.
Oh well, she don't like. I'm like, I don't care. It's either one. I mean, either both or none. Period.
Right.
Point blank. I'm not
I
about to
agree.
just
Bad for
leave my
good or for
daughter out
bad.
like that. Now, if she choose not to go, different, but don't just exclude her.
Right,
It ain't happening.
right.
Period.
Because mommy take care of 24 hours a day.
That part.
All of them, even when they ain't with us.
That part.
We sitting here thinking about, did I take the ground beef out?
Man, that part.
And I didn't take no meat out today. Okay.
I mean, I can relate. I mean, my daughter came home from the hospital with me at 3 days old, so I can relate. Now, Ray, she's 18, she's in college, she got a job, do she get on my nerve? Absolutely. Typical kids. But I'm so proud of my daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I make it for my kids. College ain't for everybody, but you got a better chance of
You
being
got a better
successful.
chance
You know what I'm saying? With a degree,
with some certificates and degrees.
than you do just sitting there saying, "I got this." And she is, drop dead gorgeous model. She's been doing some stuff. Like I told her, the reason why I support you is because I want you to be whatever you want to be. But the people you modeling for, they're not teaching you the roles of a model.
Let me tell you, you know what? Let's talk about that. Models.
What? No.
You know, I meet a lot of models.
Mm-hmm.
Some models never get the opportunity to see me in person. Some models I just talk to on the phone.
Mm-hmm.
Some models just hear about me. You know, I'm a very ghost type of woman when it comes to my career, because I really wanted my models and artists to speak what glamour does and what glamour style does. That's important, because a model can model their finger.
Right.
But what models need to realize is if you can't model your mouth, your toes, and your fingers, you are not a model. I'm not going to call my sponsors to sponsor you with clothing and shoes and give you hairstylists and makeup artists, and you're not a model. A model does not just put on dresses and skirts. A model models that photographer that took that image.
Mm-hmm.
A model models that hairstylist that worked on your hair.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you are not a model. And 9 times out of 10, Deanna Rogers is kind of going to play you to the left, and so is all these other photographers and producers and all these brand ambassadors. They don't want you to wear their clothes if you're not representing the squad that you already have.
Mm-hmm.
And models always wonder, like, why does it do this? And I remember, telling Nasha, I said, congratulations on, Break on Radio, because you actually have that opportunity to exemplify how important it is to walk alone on 2 feet. Because once you get to that point, now people respect you.
My feet hurt. You know that, right?
Well, that's a good thing, baby, because trust me, I got blisters, and I'm older than you, child. I got blisters. And the reason why is because I had to walk by myself during the education process. Then I had to walk with Glamour style. Then I had to walk by myself and start walking with lead officers and councilmen and whatnot. Child, my feet hurt so bad. But people respect me because I'm able to walk by myself and walk with a whole team. But you got to do it all in this game and in this industry because everybody think they're an Instagram model because they got a camera now. But a model is actually modeling everything in that production.
Absolutely.
Everything. I can't stand it. I'll be like, how many photographers you got?
Look
Oh,
at-
I have 2.
Have I done everything? Have I touched all the
You
bases?
know what? You've done everything. You know what? My biggest thing from the image director's perspective is bringing you out of that energy that possesses you sometimes. You know, but other than that, I mean, you know, that you just get so mad sometimes. You know, but other than that, you've exemplified what it is to create a portfolio with several different photographers throughout the cities and states of America. Now that's great when you can put America on it and not just state California.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And so that's what makes you greater than a lot of these models who are actually laying down with these photographers. And we know that.
And you know, it's crazy because me coming into photography, I started this whole program, Beakon Radio, the photography, the videography, the podcast for the youth, okay? And so I am currently in photography school. So I don't like people like, just go to YouTube. But the same people who was teaching me photography, I'm now teaching them because I went to school.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and when I was doing for the month of February, I was doing photography for mothers. I did it for free. I just want to take the pictures. I want to build my portfolio.
That's so
I don't
sweet.
really know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. It's not a price, so it's not nothing. I was finding makeup artists and stylists, and they said, well, I charge $75 to do makeup. Well, I'm not going to use you. I'm gonna go somewhere else, you know.
Right.
And eventually I started telling women, you know, if you know how to do makeup, do your own makeup. You know, we can work everything out in post.
No. Let me stop you there. Don't do that because you mess up your production.
Well, no.
No, but usually as a model, they should come prepared, especially if it's not.
Oh, they
stated-
definitely should.
No, I'm just saying, so if it's not stated like,
Come in there with some
come here and
breezy
make
hair.
it, you
Right,
should
so
come.
what I'm
They
saying
got
is for
nerves
me,
back, and they don't have no bag. Where your house shoes at? Bro, if you don't get naked, what are you doing? Okay, I'm back.
so
Yeah.
now,
Clothes, not shit.
Right.
Look, she told me,
Get
she
in your
said,
robe and your house shoes when you come to my
so
production.
look, I told him, I said, look, now I'm a guy, okay, and then I was doing it for people on Facebook. That's where all my youth come from. So, like, I know that, you know, February is supposed to be the lovers month, and I'm just like, let me just do something for the women in general, you know. And so, women, I was like, I gave them like 6 different outfits that they could come in, but we only gonna use 2 or 3.
Right.
Everybody was like, great, right? I had one come in. Now, I'm gonna say from a man's perspective, I don't know the modeling arena. She was a model. She came in, she took her pictures, she got naked. I was like, whoa, wait a minute, hey,
Yes.
the bathroom is out here.
You know when they
Right.
model because they get naked so
And I was
quick.
like, the bathroom is out here, you
They
know?
just be sitting there with their robe and house shoes on.
See, and then she told me, she said, you know what? She's like,
Mine do.
she said, are you doing nude pictures? I said, no, I don't want nobody nude.
No, they be in a robe and house shoes.
No, but that's different when it comes to doing an event versus you doing a photography shoot. Like a photographer and the model.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when you're getting ready for shows, of course, we got to take our clothes off, have our black
Right.
stuff on, but there's models that get naked before shoots start.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't mean that. I mean get
No,
naked
that's what-
and ready.
Yeah,
No,
no.
No, not
Yeah.
that.
See, I
Nah,
have
you
this
know,
thing.
Yeah,
No.
no. Yeah, no.
I ain't having them naked. Nah.
Yeah.
Where you robe at? Okay, no.
Yeah, no, but see, me being a person who just 20 years ago, I was a dude who had the 35mm camera running through the neighborhood, taking pictures and printing them out and saying, yeah, look at us, you know, that was me. So it come full circle. It come right back. That passion 20 years ago is here now. So when a woman comes in, I don't want you getting naked in front of me. Because see,
Right, no.
I don't want you to feel like, oh yeah, he came, he was, no. I'm
No,
a
that's
man.
disrespectful.
I get excited when the wind blows. Bathroom right there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, not
And
that.
so when she said to me, she said, well, you know, most photographers want you to get naked. I'm like, oh, hell no, that ain't what I want.
Mm-mm.
I'm trying to do the community a favor. Take some pictures that you can have. You can print it up and do whatever you want to do with them.
Portfolio.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm doing a free photo shoot for you, and I'm doing my portfolio. Not that I want to go out and be a photographer, no. But when the kids come summertime, these are the pictures I took. This is when I first started. This is where I am now.
Right.
Because I'm passing on my skill set to them.
Mm-hmm.
And even the school that I go to are two photographers, husband and wife team, between the two of them over 70 years of experience. And they said, oh, you doing what? You come for free. So those are the blessings we talking about. When you be right with people, those blessings come right back.
You know what, as far as photography, that's what I love about the fact that I'm senior class historian.
Mm.
I'm like, how the hell, you know, when people ask me, well, how you become an image director? I was already appointed senior class historian in high school
Mm-hmm.
because I was smiling. I best smile too. Best smile, and I was taking pictures, you know, but I graduated in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
I've been at this. My father has probably about 100 cameras in our living room.
Wow.
You know, so that was our thing, was making sure that images were protected. Even when I was a kid, I knew that images had to be great. I think that's why even with this image, this is one of my favorite images of Tiffany Denise. Of course it made it to Sophisticated Hair magazine. Of course Chrissy Montana's image made it to Sophisticated Hair magazine. It's easy because Beakon was on board.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I knew when I went into those situations that it was very important to protect the model's image, where that image would last forever.
Right.
That's what a model's gonna be like, girl, is this image gonna last forever? Or is it just gonna be my images that I've touched, for the most part, I can honestly say whether they're published or not, that they're gonna make it. I've really never touched a model who didn't go, you know, bananas for the fact that they were dressed from head to toe. If I had control over it, I was going to make sure that they were dressed. I would come into a lot of opportunities where I would be appointed as a stylist, but I would end up being the image director. It just got to the point where I had to start telling people, listen, I ain't no damn stylist. I'm ahead of that. I'm an image director. So, you know, when I get to talking, I don't want you to get nervous, but I'm, you know, high on the marquee where, because I'm a senior class historian and a liaison and a community leader and this, I'm just too
So
crazy.
let's talk about.
Too much.
So let's talk about some of the projects and events upcoming that you have, and definitely want to get that there out to the people and support what you're doing, because I believe in people who do great things, especially when they go back to the community anymore. You know, there's a lot of us that do great things, and we only want to be seen on TV. We ain't coming back to do nothing, you know. But we'll throw up blood, or we'll throw up crip while we're in the middle of a damn NBA finals and all that old crap.
I am
you know what I'm saying?
such a hood girl. My daddy is like, you know, I don't even talk to my dad every day or my mom every day, but like I live right in the middle of both of my parents. And I'm like really comfortable with living in between my parents until they pass away, because I know how grateful I should be, and I'm honored to be able to have parents that live so close to me, and be able to take care of me when they can. And I say when they can because I remember it was times when I've called them and asked them for things and they couldn't give it to me. And I was like, what the hell? What you mean you can't give? What you mean you can't pay this light bill? What you mean you can't? You know, so now I've actually just exemplified that, you know, I want to stay at home with my mommy and daddy. Then that way I can take care of them when it's time. Future events. Number one, we just celebrated Black History at Aspire Elementary, February 22nd.
Okay.
Oh my God, for the third year. So we're working on our fourth year for February 2020.
Come on now.
I'm excited about that because to get this platform and to be sitting and arguing with these teachers, let me tell y'all, I'm still arguing about whether or not we gonna play black music at a Black History event or Latino music.
Mm.
My last event that I just had a couple of weeks ago, I had to just go ahead and say, we're gonna just have a party and let these kids do a couple of Spanish things. But let me tell you something, to be the only black woman in the United States of America that's shutting the school down for Black History, that's bad.
Oh yeah, you a bad mama jam.
I should not be the only black woman doing it. But I am. It's what it is. I'm on record saying it. Certificates prove it. Everything proves it. But because I'm the only black woman shutting down an elementary school in the United States of America on Black History, I'm not just doing the classroom doors. I'm not just doing the hallways. I'm not just doing the auditorium. I told them, no, listen, I need the playground, I need the auditorium, and I need VIP parking for my guests. I need all that. But because I'm doing that, it has caused an anxiety level with me where I kind of do it at the last minute, like 2 months before the event, because I've been so tired with the lupus and tired of fighting these teachers about what is important to a black woman that's given a Black History event at a black, the school was named after Juanita Tate, which is a black woman. You basically want to, she's a civil rights leader, but you want to compare her to Maxine Waters in our community.
Okay.
So it's important that I do
Right,
this.
right.
So that's one of the things that I'm working on. I'm also working on an event with Yashonda Wright where she's doing this mind celebration next month. She just got the Crenshaw Christian Center, so she'll be showcasing all of this mind talent and gospel talent.
Okay.
I'm also still constantly working with Charles Clemens, which is a director of the industry. He does a lot of videos and stuff like that. I'm constantly promoting one of my favorite models, which is Maisha Lynn Butler.
Okay.
Maisha Lynn Butler is this one right here. This is one of like,
Okay.
this is one of like my favorite girls, and the reason why is because her and her husband, the Butlers, they are so committed to, they have a program, maybe not a program, but they do this promotions called SEO, which means support each other. So it's pound SEO, and it basically, when you go to SEO, you're able to see all of the people that they're in collection with, and it literally is like a storm wave of positive energy, including the fact that they are relatives to, show me my money, show me the money. What's his name? Show me the money.
That Wayne guy.
No, the black guy.
Yeah, Wayne something. Dwayne something.
What's
Wayne.
their last names? Why we don't know their last names? Ooh, I
I'm
can't
terrible
believe
with
Yeah, you
names,
talking about the
period.
black comedian, right?
it.
With the square face head, something
Yeah,
like that.
what are their names?
Not the wine
Their
brother.
father just passed
Nuh-uh,
away.
nuh-uh.
You know when he says, show me the money, show me the money.
I can't think of.
I cannot, and you know I have short-term memory because of the coma. But anyway, Maisha Lynn is such a great model. She's able to perform very well in just so many different ways. She's also a dancer. So I'm just like a really big fan of hers when it comes to doing some better things with her. I definitely want to work with her a little bit more extensively this year. I'm also a big lover for Miko Williams at Pack Stereo. Miko Williams is this.
Okay.
Miko Williams is so fabulous as well. And I'm actually getting rest this year. I'll be getting a lot of rest this year. I won't kind of be, I won't be doing Cuba Gooding. Right, the Goodings. Right.
Well, that's his name.
That's who Maisha, yeah. Maisha's people is the Goodings. You know, their
Okay.
father just passed away and everything. Thank you, Kim. And Yashondra, let me know the day of your event, because they were just asking me about that. But Yeah, the Goodings are really great, so they're constantly doing projects with Bounce Television.
Right. Okay.
I was actually just working with Carlene Corsley, Miss Bossy. She's working on 2 movies. I'm not working with her right now. Thank you, God. So I'm able to kind of take some breaks, and kind of just dibble and dabble
Okay.
and get ready for this next year's event.
Okay. So now
Mhm.
you touched on something, and like I said, I have a daughter who really wants to be a model.
Mhm.
She has the beauty, the inner beauty, the outer beauty. She speaks very well. But for young ladies who wants to be models, um, as a man who has a lot of respect for women in general, um, what advice would you give to some of these young? I'm talking about teens, preteens, college girls. A lot of people call my daughter up or via Instagram and, oh, I want you to come out of this wig. Oh, I want you to
If
come
he
out of
wants
this.
you to bend over, it's
You
over.
know, you see what I'm saying? And so, and I tell them, although I'm not, I tell her, I say, listen, unlike me, see, I research people. Y'all millennials, y'all just want to, it's all free now because you've been protected and sheltered. I said, so from this point forward, my answer is going to be no to you if you don't say, here's my manager number, call him. Because see, I know all the protective answers to ask, questions to ask.
I would say, number one, the whole quote, Google me. That
Mhm.
comes from the professional saying, I don't even got to talk to you. Google me.
Right.
If you cannot Google that person, because when you Google Brianna Rogers, you ain't going to find him.
Mm-hmm.
But when you Google glamour and glamour style, you're going to get all these images of all these people that I've worked with. And I own glamour and I own glamour style.
Mm-hmm.
If you cannot Google these individuals, and if it doesn't have dates, you should kind of straggle away.
Not necessarily, because I've worked with photographers that you cannot find.
Right.
Word of mouth, asking different people that work with that person, or just finding out.
You have a stern. You strong.
Exactly.
You do understand that, right? You strong. A man is typically not going to violate you
Exactly.
because he don't want to hear your mouth. Me and you have something in common, which is I will expose you. I will blackball you. And why? Because I can. I know how to use my platform for what it is.
Right.
The man that raped me, I blackballed him. Did he rape you too? Did he rape you too? That's we on a whole nother level. But to those models, they need to see some type of historical facts.
And that's why we're saying go back and find their work through the models or photographers. Because sometimes you can't always Google a person. It takes a while before Google actually pops up with that individual. I don't know how long it took for me to actually pop up, but it took some time before Nasha B actually was able to be Googled. You can't Google to Nasha. You can Google Nasha B, but
and that's what I'm saying. You can't Google Vienna.
It takes a while.
But you can Google
you have
Glamour.
to go off the conversation they're giving you if they're willing to talk to you, like phone conversation. If it's just like a bunch of texting, bunch of inboxes, most likely it's a no-no. Mm-hmm. Those are main key factors. They do not ever want to talk to you. Never want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't no good.
I don't even want to work with you if you ain't Google me.
Well,
I didn't Google a lot of people.
I'm a published, but now I'm a little publish free. If
right,
it
and
ain't
it's all
published,
there.
I don't want nothing to do with it.
It's all there.
It's just wasting my time now.
And
if it's not this right now, it ain't wasting my time. Yeah, we on live on Facebook, but it's published.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now it's like, okay, yeah, I can go and spend that gas money, go and put my purple on and go on to it. But I'm not just about to go do your live interview. And I'm saying this to anybody that's listening. I don't got time. I can't Google you.
Mm-hmm.
And I am saying it now. I have put, you could have paid me for this interview, right? But half of it was going to go to the tank.
That's it.
You can't pay me for my time, period. So, as a professional, with all my education, because I walk it like I talk it. If I can't Google you, I don't think I'm working with you. And the reason why is
Well, we
because
thank you for being on
you don't
Beakon
respect
Radio.
yourself. You welcome. You can't even respect yourself or your team.
Well, if that's the case, because I didn't Google a lot of people. You can feel the energy.
But you,
I met up with one
again,
photographer.
but you a beast when it come to that.
Yeah.
You've been walking
But
around
see, and
by
again,
yourself.
you have to remember, we're not
Yes.
talking about you.
Right.
Listen, when I say millennials, I know that there's some great ones.
Right.
But when I say millennials, I think of my daughter's generation.
No, and I
how
know that.
Yeah.
Me personally, I can walk 3 steps out that alley. I'm looking behind me. Why? Because that's my condition.
And I'm looking at the flow.
You see what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna
But
just walk
these
into
kids,
that.
they throw their hoodies on and they walk like, and they
Uh-huh,
can't.
and
They
they
got
don't
blinders
look-
on.
They don't look down at the ground.
And just like a little girl was just found in Compton, dead.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I think the news or somebody said yesterday it was Inglewood, but I haven't confirmed that. But what I'm saying is, when I look at these little girls, I see them everywhere.
Right.
I go to high schools and I teach on different things. And these little girls are sheltered and protected.
I
They have no fear factors. You see what I'm saying? When you're a little girl, you walking down the street, you look and see that car going slow, you know to watch it. These girls are still walking. So when the little girl, and there are people who will spend $500 or $1,000 to make a Google thing go for them. And when you get there, when you wake up, you're now in France.
That's why I said you have to find the models they work with or photographers they know. There's actually like on Facebook, because I'm on a lot of the groups, they will warn you about photographers.
Yeah.
Don't work with this photographer doing this or doing this to people. There's ways to find it, because that's what I'm saying. Google is not going to always give you the answer.
Well, for
That's why you
my
gotta
Google
find
search,
the word.
what my Google search taught me as an image director, one of the key factors that I do with all of my artists is I Google. That's how I'm able to find out whether or not I can be an image director to you. or
And that's
not.
what I'm saying. It depends on how long they've been putting their
Exactly.
name out there with the hashtag.
But
Because it
what
takes a
it
long
states-
time before
what it
Google actually
states-
picks you up.
I know, but what Google states is that this person has a team that is accounting for them.
Not necessarily. Not
That's from my
necessarily.
experience. Because I worked with some, matter of fact, I worked with this guy who just was so janky in the industry. When I Googled him, I couldn't find nothing but him.
And that's what I'm saying. You have to do the research behind the Google, because Google's not going to always give you that positive, what you're looking for. So you have to go find that work, a model they worked with. Try to do the credit, what other photographers know him and what not. or
But
whatever.
again, you just a gangster, so.
No, it's not that, because when it comes to that, I have to be very professional. You know, it's like I have to be my own manager, and I have to talk to these people a certain type of way. I can't give them Tanasha or Pandora or something. It's like, okay, hey, it's Nasha B. How are you doing? Nasha B, they turn them out a princess. So you have to look at it different. That's how I booked a lot of my work. They'll hit me up on the Model Mayhem, and I'll just like, let me see who they work with. Let me see their credits. Let me go back and see if I see any
but
negative
see,
feedback.
The reason why I asked that question, see, and when people start talking about the first person I, see, people don't understand, you can't turn gangsterism off and on. You can't. No matter whether you street or corporate, it is always on. It's the way you speak it. It's the education, how you articulate your words. You can go into the Becky voice all you want to. You best believe they hear some strength in there saying, this is not one you want to fuck with.
Right.
And that's what she's trying to make you understand.
No, I
but take
understand.
you out of that equation, and I could bring 10 little girls in here, and you'll be like, oh, they're going to eat her up.
No, I'm not saying like I as in me. I'm not like.
Well, this is what I'm saying, so you can
as in the I.
understand. These little girls are not doing the research that you do. They don't know what you know.
Right.
These little girls is getting inboxes saying, hey, my daughter got one. I'm over here at USC. And I said, tell them, yeah. So you know what I do? I grab my pistol. We going right up in there. Because if you're finna kidnap mine, we going, you see what I'm saying? I got there, and then I got to ask the question, oh, this is your dad? No, I'm a protector. That's what I am. Because she's not saying, because there are so many young people that's so hungry for it, for the glamour, they're going to any and everybody. And they're not researching because they're not groomed that way. No matter how
And
much
it's
I teach my
dangerous.
daughter.
That's what I'm saying again. That's why they should like physically talk to me, because you can tell instead of
Okay.
the text, like just the diss. Like I'm not gonna work with nobody that can just only text me.
Right,
I need to
right.
talk to you so I can get your energy, because it's texting. it can tell you a whole lot. You can be misunderstood.
Yeah,
So that's
agree.
what I'm saying. Now I'm not saying like as me because
Okay,
I've been
okay.
doing it for a while, and I tried
And
to
you're
put my
older.
daughter in
Yeah.
it, you know, and I tried to put my daughter in it. There's other people that I'm working with that want a model, and it's like I don't think about me. I think about that if factor. I go out here to this dang on photo shoot, and this man didn't kidnap me. You know, it's like, and I always will tell a model, take somebody with you. Don't never go to a photo shoot alone, especially nobody that you just met. Now, if you done shoot, then go ahead. But always have somebody with you. Always.
Right.
You should
let
always have
know
somebody with you.
Yeah.
Where you at?
Yeah.
And all that
I was
stuff
upset
because
that I came today by myself because it's like,
I was here.
no. I'm saying professionally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
I need somebody to be charging my phone right now. I need to be running communications. I need to make sure that the gifts is right, the portfolio is right, and everything. So professionally speaking, how can I work efficiently if I'm working by myself?
Right.
Right.
There's no I in production.
Right.
There's always a we. And that's why I say to the models that are listening to me, if they're not Googleable, don't touch them. And the reason why is because they're just not ripened enough for you. They
But
can,
then what
they
if
can
Google
hurt
is
you.
like a lie on them instead of a truth? Because you know Google can pretty much, you can fabricate anything on
Well,
Google.
listen, all I can go by is an example. When you Google glamour and you Google glamour style, you don't see Deanna Rogers. You see all of y'all. You understand what I'm saying? So which says Deanna Rogers is a good representative of us.
Because they're all representing.
Because they all
Right.
represent me.
That's more.
You don't even know I'm
that's
the,
like
the,
you
the
have more of
president.
a team of glamour styles, you know,
Yeah.
versus a photographer. Photographers really don't have a team. It's
I,
just the
exactly,
photographer.
because his models don't trust him.
No, see, but all photographers
Enough.
don't have models.
I know.
Just like
That's
models
weird.
don't have photographers.
But it's weird.
But
Be-
I see what she's saying. From
It's
a business
weird.
standpoint, if you're a great
Professional,
great
You gonna
photographer,
tag my name.
you're gonna say, you know
I'm
what?
gonna tag
I
myself.
just did this for Nasty B. I just did this, and I did this. And the person should be able to say, I'm doing a photo shoot. Let me call Nasty
Okay,
B.
like I'm gonna say, Derek Roger, for example.
Right. I love
I
Derek.
did a photo shoot with him.
Right.
Ain't got my pictures 2 months ago.
Yeah.
I know you saw that one picture. The girl had the little bun on top of her head.
No, I haven't seen it. I love Derek.
That was
though.
my. That's like a model that I'm like trying to help out. He posted one picture of her, didn't tag her. He told our designer, tell him not to tag me in those pictures. Sent us 2 pictures apiece out of about 500 pictures.
Which is a lot. I mean, it's
But it
more
was 2
often
of us.
than.
But it was 2 of us.
But you still can take that image.
No,
I
but
took
how
my
about-
images
how
out of
about-
sophisticated here.
You know how long it took me to get those pictures? He didn't send them to me.
Girl, same thing. But you know what I told them?
Mm-mm.
You know what? Where you? This is why you shouldn't
That-
come by yourself. Listen.
No, see, that is bad business because I've never had this
But-
issue with photography.
It's why you shouldn't come by
I
yourself.
didn't go by myself.
Listen, what I'm saying is, I'm so cold. I do behind the scenes, all type of shit to protect. Vianna was there, which means run me my copyrights, baby. You know why? Because I've been there, done that. So I learned how to do the implements of behind the scenes, bringing a photographer to me, doing stuff like that. And then that way, when Sophisticated Hair Magazine came out, both times, my name wasn't in it. But guess what I did? Took the images that they put on Instagram, went to Photo Ed, and put my name on it. You ain't gonna come for me and say I didn't do it, because I did do it. Even though you guys were wrong and didn't put my name on it. You put the hairstylist name on there and I'm a stylist. What kind of shit is that? Just because you're a hairstylist does not make you a stylist. I styled the whole format of this image.
Mm-hmm.
But my name ain't on there. All you see is whoop-de-whoop name. But he couldn't wait for me to get these clothes and take her downtown and pick her up from home and take her to this photo shoot and get her dressed and size all these clothes on and get her shoes sponsored and all of that. I'm the stylist.
Right.
So
right.
guess what? When he come to my facility, it's gonna be a big ass poster with my name on it. You take your image, baby. You take your image, no matter what. That's what I'm saying. Take your stuff.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's different behind being an image director, the photographer, and a model. It's
Right.
like you cannot really mix those in.
Well, you turn it into a
Really can.
supermodel, so
Right, you know, so
you mess around and be Tyra Banks. She already doing the radio.
mean,
You gonna kill them. Your platform is different.
Exactly.
so that's
And your
All
grind
this
is
negative
different.
stuff is going to protect you.
nah, I know.
Sophisticated Hair Magazine hurt me. It hurt. But now I'm able to take full control. Like, guess what? That's my image. Now I'm all on the radio. Vianna did it. I don't care what you saw, but Vianna did it.
Yeah.
That's the coldest thing to do to a person is to not represent them, because that's the person who's going to take that product and make it something else.
Yeah, but see, the difference is I don't have the product.
You
know?
get there.
It's like,
That
that's
was
what I'm
me,
saying.
though.
He has my work. He has my stuff, and he won't release it.
Oh, when it come
You know,
out,
it's
just
like,
get it.
no, it's not going to come out because he's not going to put him out there. He's not putting him out there.
He ain't no,
It's
you
just,
know,
you know,
I
it's
make
like-
you. I can make you a guarantee.
he gonna release it.
He
It's
he gonna put
gold.
them out there.
This is not should be.
If that shit is hot,
This
he
a whole
gonna
nother
put them out
caliber.
there. And when he do, like she said, you pull yours, cause he gonna do it.
And when he do it,
Here's
pull
what we
it.
doing. I want you to forget about it. So you're gonna be so upset when he
And I'm gonna
publishes
say it too, as an image director, it's a lot of times that I'm still holding on images right now and waiting for that day and time to release it. And it's weird, but when you become the one behind the camera and not in front of the camera,
You got the power.
you look up and you got over 1,000 images that you haven't even seen. Because that's what we do. We play with cameras. I'm a historian. I play with cameras. It's not a money thing. It's not a. It's what I do. Don't take it personal, you know.
I don't take life personal at all.
But he gonna release it because it's gold. It's valuable. You not should be. You're not just any model, baby. And if you were, I wouldn't be sitting here. You're not just any model. You're not just anybody. You super somebody. Cause no matter what we do or say, we can kick you, spit on you, your ass still gonna get up and blossom. That's just who you are.
And that's what you have to take to the bank. That right there. I mean, you know, just since you're speaking on that, a year ago when I started this,
I can barely hear what this music.
Oh,
And I'm like,
you know what? I thought I turned it down.